Whirling blade.
Thunderstrike.
Bishop delivery.
Take this. Try this.
You're done.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for joining us for Battlerekt live from the NG studios here in Burbank, California. We're here for the EU 3v3 tournament. It's our second edition of that. My name is Gex. This is Findable Carpet, and we are sure glad to be here with you guys. So just in case you haven't been around, this is your first time joining us on Battlerekt. Battlerekt is all about, doing these one-off tournaments, at least for the month of November, and we really want to gain feedback from you guys from, all of our Battlerekt tournaments here. Get feedback on format, whether you like us, you like me better, you like him better, whatever. We want to hear your feedback on format and all sorts of different things related to the show. So definitely do that. There's a bunch of different channels, Reddit, Discord, etc. We would love to hear it.
Yeah, if you'd like to find us, you can follow us at Battlerekt. Ugh.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hey there.
I'm still recovering from yesterday, all that turkey. You can follow us at Battlerekt on Twitter. You can follow us right here on Twitch if you'd like. Definitely feel free to do that. I'm sure most of you that are here for the beginning of the show have already done that, but feel free to click it twice, do it again just for fun. You can also check us out on our website if you want to sign up. We have our NA tournament coming on later, so any of you NA folks that woke up at a decent hour today, before 2 if you're on the East Coast, you can sign up at battlerekt.com. So we talked about how we want to change the format on you guys over the course of this month to try some new formats. So we finally did it today. We're doing something a little bit different. Essentially, up until now, we didn't have a whole lot of sign-ups, so the teams haven't gone through a lot of, everyone's, I think, still sleeping, to be honest.
Yeah.
But essentially, for the round of 8, the game was built around this, best of 5 format. And we want to test that out and see if it's tried and true, and see if it feels better for players and if it feels better for the balance of the game. So essentially, for all the round of 8 this time, we're going to be doing 3 best of 5s, a best of 3 best of 5. So essentially, kind of like our finals, just shortened.
Yeah.
And that way, teams get a chance to potentially change their champs throughout the series, and they get a different map picks essentially also to kind of alter the gameplay throughout the series.
Yeah, like you said, we wanted to try out different things on you guys, so we're going with this format today. Let us know what you think about that. As we said, you can give us feedback. Let us know if you like it, you hate it, whatever, and maybe ideas for the future as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead. These guys have been playing throughout the morning today, and we are now down to our top 8 in the bracket. So let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket and see what we have to work with. So definitely some familiar faces in here, and to keep in mind also, since we are doing a different format, may take a little bit longer as well. We're only going to stream at least 2 of our quarterfinal matchups, and today we're going to be starting with Counter Every Time versus Mycon Prepare to Die. We're going to go with start off with that one, and then afterwards we'll get into Bruce Lee and my conviction. So we will go with those 2. And should be some good games today. I see some good teams.
Yeah, we'll update you guys on the other side of the bracket as the show goes on. As soon as we find out what teams are making it into the semifinals on the other side, we will broadcast both semifinals and the finals, of course. But to make sure that you guys aren't sitting here for 9 hours, and we want to make sure that we're gonna make it to the end, and that we're all gonna be alive when we get there.
Yep.
So right now, our first 2 teams are in lobby. They're doing their map bans. So essentially, to explain that a little bit, teams alter picking or banning maps until there's 3 left. Mm-hmm. The team that banned second gets to pick the first map of the series, and then it goes to the other side. And then if they make it to the last one, they get to pick the third.
Yeah. And so they'll ban down to the 3, and they try to keep it as fair as possible. And we'll be doing, as we said, best of 3 all the way through, best of 3 maps now for our top 8 all the way to the finals. So we got some good matches to come up with that. Also, keep in mind what these guys are playing for. They are playing for prizes. So first place is gonna take home $200. Second place, $100, and all the top 8 will get the Demonic Steed. All teams that you just saw in that bracket will take home a Demonic Steed.
I mean, at this point, there's definitely some players we've seen a lot. They're just hoarding these Demonic Steeds. I'm assuming they're going to give them away, or maybe they are hoarders. I mean, I'm actually really curious. People like hoarders in their house.
Hoard
like,
Demonic Steed
they're hoarders,
keys.
right? Like hoarders is the thing. Like, do people do that with digital things as well? Like,
probably.
I don't know. Like, is the mentality of it like you want a bunch of physical objects that you can't get rid of, or is it like same with digital? Like,
people definitely do that with Steam games.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, those Steam sales, man. People are hoarding as many games they don't even play them. So I think it's a thing.
I have probably 40 games I've never installed.
Yeah. See, I was never one of those hoarders.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm just like, this is a great deal.
All that, yeah, you know.
$5? I can't say no
man.
to this, and then I never install it 2 years later.
Freaking gaming. That guy sucks you in. I hate it. Too many good deals. But yeah, we'll be having our first game coming up, guys. As we said, only 2 of the quarterfinals, and then the rest of the games streamed all the way through. So teams are getting into their hero picking phase, champion picking phase right now.
Did we say it? Today's 3v3.
Oh yeah.
Have we mentioned that?
Yeah. Yeah. Today's 3v3.
Yeah,
in case
I
you
don't
didn't know,
guys.
Yeah.
It's a 3v3 tournament.
Yeah.
Which also, you know, and we also, that's why we're testing. On Tuesdays we do 2v2s, and on Fridays we do 3v3s. Because for us too, when we do get into our final format in December,
Right.
and we have like a season style for you guys, we want to make sure that we pick the one that feels best for both the game and the players and the viewers. We want to make sure it's balanced. We want to make sure it's fair. We want to see diversity as well in champs and compositions, especially in battle rights. You know, I want to see people picking different things.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're
prove your worth to me.
Yeah. You gotta prove it to
Because
this
I'm
guy.
apparently
someone
that's worth proving yourself to.
I mean, he's got a beard.
That,
I mean, it normally
don't ask me so
puts
far.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the beard does something, means something. But we do want to hear what you guys have to say about this and everything else, because we obviously want to make it as best as possible for everybody, all included, or you know, all people included in this process. That's why we want to change things up and, you know, get a little funky sometimes. You know, we haven't gotten too funky yet, but you know, maybe in the future.
We're hoping to try some fun things.
Yeah.
And honestly, like seriously, even if you have a wild, ridiculous idea, we can just have a weird one-off tournament where it's like, everyone has to pick the same champ.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if we can find a way to put that in the settings where everyone has to pick the same
I don't even know if
person.
that's a thing.
I don't know.
It is
But
if you
I think 6 pearls would be hilarious.
Oh, jeez.
The bubbles.
The game would never end.
They really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Every match would go into sudden death until it's nothing, and everyone's just gonna die from the darkness.
Bubbles everywhere. Literally, you can't get enough. All right, guys, but the players are headed into the game. We have our first one on the way. Should be a good one. I'm excited to see
Should
this.
be a doozy.
A doozy.
A real doozy.
A real doozy if we take a look. So,
What is this team comp?
wow.
Varesh, Taya, Paloma.
All right.
3 champs we rarely see.
Yeah, really.
Against 3 champs we see all the time.
Well, sad.
Obaluf, get a hold of yourself.
Sad.
Sad days, Obaluf, disconnecting.
Oh, man. Well, we'll see. Hopefully it gets back in time. If not, I mean, anyway, what else what are you thinking about these comps so far here, Carver?
Well,
I mean, the Varesh, Taya, Paloma, as you were saying, it's pretty wild.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as on the other side, Lucy, Rakan, Jade, nothing too surprising. You've got a fantastic melee, a fantastic range, and a fantastic support. Paloma, Taya, Varesh. Mobility is not their strong suit.
No.
Not in the slightest.
No.
They are going to struggle on that front. But when Rakan jumps in, I mean, Varesh can tank a surprising amount of damage with his shield, especially. You know, it absorbs 28 damage, plus you have Paloma there to help heal him up. And he did go Devastation, where his Hand of Judgment's going to bounce towards the second target, so they're looking to try and put those debuffs on as many people as possible.
Oh, right away, Varesh took the right click and then got pulled in by Rakan. Now as both teams find their sides of the middle point. And oh my goodness, Jade getting chunked so badly, gets pulled back in. Ooh, so hurt, both of them. Lucy and
The
Jade.
blind ultimate across the wall to Lucy.
Oh, and Lucy's still hanging on for dear life, just trying to heal up, keep the rest of the team sustained as well. But man, they just got rocked right off the start, and Paloma ultimate gonna come out as well. Lucy getting away just in time, uses barrier, but she's caught back in the corner, and I would suspect, yes, going down right away. Now, just Gazag left, and he will get crushed by all 3 of those guys. So
That was unexpected, to say the least.
yeah, I'll be honest, I did not even see what chunked down Jade so badly, but that seemed to be where it started, and then
yeah,
just
I
downhill.
believe Varesh had both debuffs on her, so she couldn't get healed nearly as much. It's a 15% reduction in health and a 15% increase in damage taken. So I think both of those buffs were on her. Varesh just kept right click. I mean, his Hand of Devastation, his right click, or Hand of Judgment, apologies, his right click is a pretty decent range. So I think they just really weren't paying attention to him. He was able to do a lot. I mean, Taya, we already know she can dish out that damage. It's just a matter of she has to. Her positioning is really important. Oh, the X boomerang already on Jade.
Yeah, luckily that barrier from Obluff came in right in time to negate most of the damage, but center orb is going to be up. Easy secure for Little Master, and Gazek getting panicked away. Now pulled in. Oh, so much damage to Obluff with those boomerangs, man. And now the Paloma ultimate as well is going to get Jade caught up into it. Has to go material. Gazek's caught in the middle of everything. He'll have to try and back up, regroup with the rest of his team. Getting pulled in again with those boomerangs. Gazek able to secure. Center orb though, now Mala and Obluff both have ultimates on the side of counter every time, but big health advantage at the moment in favor of Prepare to Die.
Gazek just hiding behind that wall, really trying not to take damage. Taya's trying to poke around. You see her using her haste. She wants to get around there. Just trying to deal any more damage. They're going to have an easy orb secure here. 90% health pool to 43. It's looking strong right now for Mycon.
Here we go, work back in. Here comes Jade ultimate and the goo as well, pulling Paloma right back into the goo with Rakan, but he goes down shortly afterwards. And now the rest of counter every time struggling to stay alive. There goes Lucy as well. All three players able to stay alive for Mycon, and now that is going to be a 2-0 lead in our first map in this best of 3.
Looking like Mycon's probably going to go away with this first round. But remember, guys, we are doing 3 best of 5s. It's a best of 3, best of 5.
Yes.
We got to find a better way to coin this phrase because it sounds functional, but it also sounds kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But we'll figure this out together.
Yeah, we'll sort these things.
But again, the cool part is that means that counter every time might have a chance to try and counterpick. They know what they're up against now. They're just up against some absolute damage dealers. Look at that, Varesh with 718 damage last game. He's not really getting poked much, and when he does get hit, Taya's making sure to use her tornado on him to keep him safe. Oh, his counter gets wasted though.
He got pulled in and gets the snipe off. Mala was able to get that there, the counter out. He gets other-sided by Paloma, but pulled right back in by Gazek. Now has to use the shield as well, as he is just taking left clicks all over the place. And the Jade ultimate as well, able to get the center orb, but man, Varesh is just getting pounded, has to get other-sided yet again, and the snipe from range by Mala. And still just trying to get healed up, and meanwhile, Kababi's just dealing out those boomerangs to the whole team and pulled right back in yet again, sniped in the process as well when the silence came out. Still really hurt now. His Little Master needs to get those heals. Gazek's gonna go ahead and use that ultimate, able to finish off Varesh. Now a 3 versus 2 situation and just hammering away at Taya and Paloma collectively. As Mala comes back in, here comes the Paloma ultimate as well. Mala immaterials out of there, and now the goo as well. Both players on red able to escape the goo. Still a 3v2 situation. Gonna be pretty tough. Kababi trying to do work on Varesh, onto Rakan, who is just all up in their face. Now both teams retreating back, just taking some heals. Oh, getting pulled in, other-sided right away. Oh, this is rough. Here comes the ultimate. Oh, so hurt. Taya extremely hurt. Needs to get some heals. Has to use tornado on herself to stay alive.
Paloma just body blocked.
Oh, but goes down.
Broloma did what she could. She tried to body block as much as she could for Taya after the tornado was down, and the other side, no more mobility for her. She would have had to try and haste her way out of it. That is what they had to do. Shut down that Varesh. The moment his counter was down, they refused to let him go. That was literally it. He was taking damage from the moment that first counter wasn't procced until the end of the game.
Yep, and they just hammered away. He went down, and then it was pretty much said and done from there.
He's building the silence. He went silence for a second battle, right? So the silence when he procs his right-click silence with his shatter, his E, it increases the silence from half a second to 1.2, so over double. Inhibitor's guard absorbs 14 more damage, so he's giving himself some more shields because he knows Rakan and Jade are just going to be trying to snipe him left and right. And then he also builds synergy. Honestly, if you don't build synergy on him, something must be wrong with you. That is a fantastic, fantastic Battlerekt.
Varesh got pulled in right away, used his counter, though nobody procced it. So center orb will be coming up.
Oh,
just a sec.
Now he's stuck though. He countered into Jade and he's stuck in there.
He's
he
able
lost
to
a lot.
able to get himself out. You're
Oh,
right,
there
did
comes
lose
the
a lot of
burst.
health in the process. That snipe, yet again, able to connect with Varesh and Paloma, getting pulled in, has to get tornadoed by Taya. Still, just getting pounded away at by Gazang right now, and Mala able to get an ultimate off. Corner, get some damage out, and the ultimate from Varesh up top was trying to come out, but he got silenced right in the middle of it. And now both teams regrouping with each other, health advantage slightly in favor of counter every time.
Oh, Ty's ultimate got shut down right away. As soon as her shield breaks, her ult gets shut down, and now Varesh,
Get sniped! What prediction
did she
from Mala as
predict
well?
that?
That was just, that was insane. Beautiful prediction from Mala on the snipe coming out of that.
could have taken out. Oh, Rakan goes down from a wolf bounce.
And now it's gonna be a 1 versus 2, and the ultimate
Oh,
from
he dodged
Jade as
that.
well. That shield coming up just in time. Counters out, great snipe from Mala, able to finish off Taya. Now a 2v2 situation. Obolov has an ultimate. He's just trying to keep Mala sustained for the time being. Barrier comes up, and hitting the counter is Varesh. Oh no, the Paloma ultimate as well has no way to get out. There's no barrier up from Obolov either. Now it's a 1 versus 2. This is gonna be really tough for Obolov. 1 versus 2 and sudden death coming up shortly. But he's gotta, I don't know, I'm not too hopeful for this one. Using barrier, especially because she doesn't have too much mobility, is able to hit the panic, getting those deadly checks, but it's just not gonna be enough damage. Finished off in the end, and that will secure the first map for Mycon. Prepare to die as they take it 3-1.
Mycon, I mean, the first 2 rounds they took, it was just a matter of, I don't think Counter Overtime was prepared for this team comp. And, you know, Little Master, Kababi, and Godov were actually able to just kind of play their game. They did a lot of damage from a distance. Varesh was able to land so many of his debuffs. I don't think at the time Lucy was ready to start trying to cleanse those, because those are, they're a little hidden. You don't really realize how much damage, extra damage you're going to take, and the ability for Varesh to silence you at any time when that right click is on you, which is why Synergy is such a strong battle right. Essentially the way it works is as soon as he picks it up, either his left click or his right click will refresh any debuff. So essentially you land 1 right click, which is hard to land. It's got an entire second cast time. And then you just start landing left clicks, which are a lot shorter, his normal M1.
Right.
And then it'll refresh both of them constantly. So it just gives them a chance to just dish out whatever damage possible. We're going to take out a quick replay actually from that game. It's going to be in round 2 where Varesh gets a great ult. He actually dishes out a lot of damage. His ult, if he doesn't land a single one of his dashes, it actually finishes his ult. He has up to 3 total. So we're going to see him as soon as Rakan goes down, we're going to see him take his ult. He's going to just at the tip of it take out one, and then on the way back he's going to hit Jade and then hit all 3 of them. And then look at it, it puts both of his debuffs on as he hits. So he took advantage of that and was able to finish off Jade and Lucy in the meantime. Fantastic, putting those debuffs on everybody, trying to spread it out.
Right.
I mean, great plays. We haven't seen a lot of fantastic Vareshes yet, and I'm really happy to see this.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really in 2s at all, 3s here and there, and finally getting to see a little bit of Varesh play as well as Taya. It's good to see some of these champs that we don't get to watch too often, at least in the Battlerekt tournament. So we're getting to see a bit more diversity, which is always great. So I'm happy to see it. We'll see if any counters go out. That's one of the counter picks come up now, change in team comps, because that is one of the things now that we're doing this best of 3 all the way through. These quarterfinals teams are going to have a lot of room to counter pick, change things up after that first map. So we'll see if these guys decide to go with any changes based off of what they did in the first game as they get ready to go into game now. We'll also be doing different maps, so that can also factor into what champions people decide to play. Some maps certainly better for certain champs than others. Yeah,
I mean, certain maps you wouldn't see someone like Taya on. The more enclosed maps where she can't get that X boomerang on. I mean, that is like one of her strongest things. I mean, it is great burst damage, especially if you meet them at the tip. It's great stun. I mean, you can stun all 3 if you can actually hit them at once. I mean, AoE stuns don't come by easy, especially ones that cover a large part of the area.
Right.
And, it's funny because we don't see Taya in 2s much, right? When we do, she doesn't do fantastically. But I think she could be really strong in 3. She does some of the highest damage in the game as far as just being able to just fling out those boomerangs. The Rang Slanger at her best.
Slanger. Yeah.
But in 3s, if you keep positioning well and people can defend you and they save, with Paloma, it's great. It actually gives her an entire extra escape using the other side. And she also can use her tornado to help out Varesh. So both lacking in mobility, but they can kind of help each other out, which I think it's a cool, unique team comp, but we don't see very often.
Yeah, definitely do not. And I mean, it is great for them, you know, at least with that comp to have something else, as you were saying, besides other side, because once that's down, if you didn't have that tornado, you know, just other side is crucial, and especially if there's nothing else to help out the Paloma, it can really get on her and you know, harass her and get some good damage out. So it's nice that they had both of those. But in our next game, we are
entire team swap.
Yeah, really a full out swap here. Look at this. We got Bako, Esmo, and Oldor. This is interesting.
We don't see a lot of Esmos. One of our better Esmo players that we've seen so far, Jolts, is a player that loves playing Esmo in our tournaments, and it's always fantastic, exciting, fast-paced gameplay. Esmo jumping around all over the place, trying to get those gamble ults, but when they are pulled off, they are impressive. But I'm surprised. I mean, honestly, Counter Every Time didn't even think to change their team comps.
Yeah.
I think maybe because the map they understood they probably wouldn't see the same comp we just saw. You wouldn't see Varesh and Ty in this much. I mean, Varesh doesn't have as many walls to hide behind when he does catch himself in a weird situation, especially here. You know, they're only in those corners. There's not many places to hide. So Varesh is very out in the open.
And right away is going to be Jade was in a little bit, has to back up, going for some snipes. That Bako is out there, going to be able to potentially reflect a lot of these snipes with the bulwark, but Little Master is taking a solid chunk of damage off the start here. He'll have to back up. He's able to secure. Oh, here comes the ultimate out from Jade. Oh, not doing all that much. I think Chrono Flux may have reflected.
It was the Battlerekt Chrono Flux, where whenever he uses his shifting sand, it makes the mini one.
And I was able to get a little bit of a reflect off there. Chrono Flux out yet again, the big boy Chrono Flux this time. And now just pounding away that damage onto Jade with the sands of time.
Oh, it's secured from Jamong.
Just barely.
Rakan.
Man,
there's no Jamong here.
Yeah, no Jamong in this one. Here comes the goo as well. Oh, pulling Esmo right back into it is Rakan, and the Jade ultimate bulwark coming up, able to stuff one right back into Mala's face as Little Master jumping in. Right onto Mala.
Esmo.
Oh, he's so hurt. Getting pounded away. He's taking heals, though, from Oldor. Just enough. Bako goes down in the end. No, 1 versus 2. Godov's got to give some heals to his Esmo friend here as Rakan coming right back in. Ultimate up from Esmo. He'll throw it out there, but he's so hurt. He's going to end up going down, able to at least catch Gazag in the middle of it, but they're up with... It's a 3v1 ultimate from Jade to seal the deal. Now a 1-0 lead.
Good God, I think it was 3 ultimates we saw from Jade in this round alone before overtime. I think it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the one from the Chrono Flux that got bounced off right away, really early on. And honestly, it's kind of a hilarious battle ride. I feel like that's almost like perfectly. You literally just save your shifting sands until you start to get ulted, and then as soon as you spacebar, a little mini Chrono Flux just shows up and starts shoving things back in Jade's face. It took her too long to react, honestly. I think she took 2 bullets straight back into the dome.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's that quick reaction time. I guess she probably wouldn't have expected that from an Oldor that was probably under fire from somebody else. She's probably getting suppressed.
Right. She's got to be ready for that, though, for in the future. Got to realize, you know, if you aim at him, he spaces away, you got some trouble.
And we see Gazag trying to get those claw of the Wickeds, his death grip. He goes for death grip, which reduces the cooldown of his pull by 3 seconds, just flat out.
Really wants to get those pulls in. Right away, Jade taking quite a bit of damage from Sands of Time, and the E, Lucy getting pulled in, has to use Barrier on herself, trying to get out, as meanwhile, Center Orb is up, able to secure that for the red side, and Gazag is a little bit separated from the rest of his team as they just hammer away at these two over here. Oh, ultimate out from Oldor as well. Got the stuns off Gazag. It's really hurts. Got to come back, get heals, chunked down quite a bit. Max health is significantly lower here. As ultimate from Bako as well was able to connect onto Rakan, and the Jade ultimate. Chrono Flux came up though, had to cancel mid-ultimate. Now Mala is really hurt in the middle of that. And Chrono Flux up yet again, the big pull onto Rakan. He's really hurt. Kababi is going to be all over him right now as he spaces back over. He's trying to hunt down, finish off that kill, got the right click for the stun yet again. They're all grouped up together, so hurt. They're going to pound away at them in the corner here. Oblaf is going to use Barrier on himself, but will be going down in the end. And now we are tied up in our second map, 1-1.
That was a lot stronger than we saw in the other round. 63% health pool by the end of that.
Yeah.
Playing to their strengths that time. Oldor's, I think he saved its Chrono Flux a little bit because the Jade is building those ults really quick.
Yep.
She's being patient. She's not really using her EX abilities very often because she wants to get that far, that dish out that damage from a distance, especially with an Esmo, M2. I mean, his right click, his Chaos Grip is insane. And you know he's going to build Warlock's Grip. You know he's going to get that 25% increase range and reduce his cooldown. So the grabs are going to be coming from far. But, with the Bulwark from Bako and Oldor's Chrono Flux, I think it's gonna shut Jade down now that they're a little more aware that she's building for that ultimate faster.
So 1-1 it is. This is map 2 in our best of 3. Mycon won the first one. And now counter every time, trying to get themselves right back into it. Gazak getting pounded into the wall by Bako, but he wants to stay on his tail. Playing very aggressively, getting supported by Obelov in the back. Jade really hurt, just getting chunked at. Look at all that focus fire. Mala so hurt right now, needs to get some heals as they just continue to keep the aggression up. And look at this, Bako wants a piece, wants to finish off that Jade. The center orb is up now. They should be able to get a pretty easy, secure, and a huge health advantage for them.
Just getting him on top of the axe!
Axe finishing him off. Here comes Esmo. Ultimate as well. Gazek really hurt. Little Master jumping right back over to seal the deal on that kill in a very quick and decisive round from Mycon, now making it 2-1.
Fantastic burst on that Jade right away. They got that first pull in. By the time she got back out, she had 25% of her health left. And even when you look at the burst capabilities of both these teams, and when I say burst, I mean like instantaneous damage from a single ability, both teams have about the same. Oldor Esmo Bako, with no energy, with 0% energy, can actually burst at 74 damage with a single ability. That's a fully charged right click, of course, from Esmo, so a little difficult to combo that. But it's usually what he's going to do. He's going to land that first, so you get that 22 damage right off the bat. And now he's actually built increased damage, so about 30 damage right off the bat. Then Oldor can use, his big old snare. Bako can try and wall slam you once he pulls you in. On the other side of the field, counter every time, they slightly higher. With no energy, they can actually burst at 78%, with a full Jade snipe timed with, actually, I think that might be a little bit off. Sorry, 50, a little bit slower. No, hold on. My math is wrong.
Your math, yeah.
My math is wrong. 80.
According to
about
his
80.
calculations.
Yeah, according to my calculations here. But about 80, with a good silence from Rakan with his full charge item, or fully charged M1 and Jade snipe.
Do a lot of damage. Yeah. Combined damage there. That is loads. And now the tournament life on the line for counter every time. They gotta win this round to tie things up and keep themselves in it. The center orb is up, and they are really continuing to pressure Mala. Little Master is just all over him. And now Gazak getting petrified actually in the middle, so a momentary 3v2 as there is quite a bit of separation. Esmo ultimate out, was able to connect a bit with Obelov, who is quite hurt at the moment. Needs to back up, and here comes the Jade ultimate as well. Really hurt, gets barrier, and Rakan caught in the thick of things as well. Little Master able to secure the orb for Red. Mala quite hurt as well. Minimal health. Here comes the Bako ultimate as well. Rakan goes down now. 2 versus 3. Jade falls as well. It's just Obelov 1 versus 3 now, as should be going down in just a second. That will seal the deal. Mycon, prepare to die, will take the series, the match 2-0, 3-1 in our second map there.
I am loving these unique, and look, we saw Bako that didn't go wall slam round 2,
which is
he went Valiant Leap. That is wild. That is almost inappropriate.
You do not see that too often.
You don't. I am really liking what Mycon is doing right now. They're doing relatively different things, unique things we just, at least for us here at Battlerekt, that we haven't seen. I understand we've probably seen all of it sometime when you're going through the ladder, but here at Battlerekt, we seem to have a standard. And the fact that Bako didn't go wall slam round 2, instead he went Valiant Leap to increase the damage of his base. I mean, this is a little bit, this is what you have to do in 3s. You have to change things up just a bit. Yeah. And you definitely want to make sure that you're dealing with the situation. And we saw a lot of situational CC, just removing the Rakan. Rakan's going to come in and try and dish out the damage and put that pressure on you. But they'll go to old Lantern Smack from Oldor, putting on the Petrify.
Baby. Love it.
Just kept him out of the fight sometimes, and they were able to really hone down on Jade and Lucy.
Yeah, and speaking of the Lantern Smack, did you ever get that as your
oh no, where's the guy supposed to make my text tone?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was like supposed to be a thing.
Somebody promised me that they'd make the text tone. His R just is...
Yeah, smacking you in the face.
Whenever I get a text, I just want to be like, oh.
Yeah.
It's such a sad. It really is one of the more satisfying sounds.
Oh, it is. It's great. It's
Yeah.
like later, bro. But yeah, so that will secure it. We do have another quarterfinal coming up, guys. Remember, that will be here in just a little bit. We're doing 2 of our quarterfinal matches today, just for the sake of time within our tournament, and then from then on, we'll do both of our semifinals and the finals as well.
So we're going to take a quick look at a replay from that second game. This is, just to show the control, they're just going to hunt them down. Once they're low enough, you're going to see Esmo try and chase down this Rakan who's got almost nothing. He tries to get the silence, but just as he does, check that out. The reaction of using his M2 to get the quick stun. And then when they all try and retreat, we see a fantastic, I believe it's E from Old Jor. He absorbed a snipe from Jade as well and just missed sending it back, but now Bako's going to pin Lucy down. She has no more CC. He wall slams her, but look, didn't matter. He didn't get the stun. He didn't even need to build it. I'm liking it because everyone, it gets really frustrated when Bako's build that, but to see Bako do so well still, even without the wall slam, and on a map that really doesn't favor him, I was surprised to see the Bako pick on that map, because especially in the center, you don't have a lot of wall to slam into. Yeah,
in regards to Battlerekts too, I think a lot of people consider there to be kind of like a set meta for each champion, or at least some champions kind of have like a set build that you go with. Not the case all the time, and it's good to see people change it up from the norm and use some different ones. So it's good to see for sure. But as I was telling you guys, we do have another quarterfinal match coming up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket and see what that is. So up next we will have Bruce Lee versus My Conviction, and that will be our next one. And then also on the top end of the bracket, the other 2 that we have not been streaming thus far, you can see Project Horizon and Winghaven and Friends, which is not their actual name on the GGN website, but it was just all the whole roster collectively put into the team name. So for today's sake, they are Winghaven and Friends. They moved on as well. They'll play Project Horizon in the semifinal. So got some good stuff to come, though. Bruce Lee, My Conviction coming up next.
I should set a rule. If you make your team name your roster, I think we're just going to pick a name for you.
Yeah.
It might be horrendous, and you might not like it, but it's a punishment you're going to endure.
Hey, you're lucky today. We were nice. Winghaven and Friends.
Yeah, Winghaven and Friends. God.
Yeah.
Hey, just put his roster again. We've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, but just understand, I'm going to pick your name next time. That's actually a promise.
Yeah.
The next team to do that, I'll pick your name.
It could be brutal.
Could be.
This guy can come up with some disgusting things, so you better watch out.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, so you better watch yourselves. Warning to all teams, PSA. Be careful. But we are into the next game here. And so, again, some people we don't see too often, at least in 2s. I guess really just the Freya, at least. In Battlerekt, we haven't seen too much Freya in 2s, but today, of course, 3s. And what else do you make of these comps here, Carpet?
Shifu, Jade, and Sirius. That is going to be a high-pressure team.
Oh, yes.
That is going to be frustrating to deal with a Lucy, Rakan, and Freya, although I think Rakan and Freya also equal pressure dealers. Freya needs to get in there. She really doesn't get much protection unless she's in the fray. Oh, no. What have I done? No!
You've done it.
Oh, I hate myself.
Done it again.
Unless she's in the middle of a fight. A lot of her abilities actually help her build up a shield. Her counter, her R, her charge strike. Everyone she hits, she actually gets a bigger shield. If they have static on them, she'll consume the static. So she does better in the middle of a fight, as does Rakan. He gets in there, gets those silences, gets his consume off, gets some more. So I think this is actually should just be an all-out brawl. We're probably going to see some orbs get just ignored.
Yeah, this will definitely be a brawl. As you said, very high pressure in this one. Look at this Freya right away, already in, trying to give it to Jade, and indeed, she is. Xanox just all over Jade at the moment as we have the other 4 battling it off to the top right. Freya looks like she wants to come back in. Snipe was considered by Jade there for a sec, backing off though, and still up top. Right here, went for the Sirius ultimate, gets petrified right in the middle of it, shut down completely. Now Uncle Paul wants to come back in.
That was amazing combo.
Ultimate in yet again. No, Shifu goes down. He got some of his ultimate off, went down. Lucy will fall here as well. It's a 2 versus 2. Freya extremely hurt, uses that counter to stay alive. Rakan also quite hurt as well. They need to find heals, and quickly the snipe lands onto Rakan as well, though, and it's just Xanox 1 versus 2. Tries to come in, is able to hit the ultimate, but countered, and it's not going to proc either. Clarity able to seal the deal, now making it 1-0.
This is awesome. I told you, that orb got ignored the whole game. I was not surprised. No one's going to care about the aura, but the teams like this, this is awesome. And on top of it, we saw Jade use her EX stealth, all right? So for those of you that don't know or aren't terribly familiar with how Jade works, her Q, if she uses her EX of it, it's called Smoke Veil. It creates a smoke veil around you, turning you and any nearby allies immaterial for 2 seconds. While they were immaterial, Shifu ulted. So we couldn't get
Just
pushed
nasty.
out at all. Like, like his body wouldn't even
Right.
interact. Like he just ulted while he's immaterial and just started wailing on him. It was fantastic. He ended up going down shortly after, but if they timed it a little bit better, almost his entire ult would have gone off without anyone being able to silence him or even move him around.
That is a brilliant combo. Definitely helps secure the round. A big snipe from the back is going to land onto Lucy now. Getting into trouble. Randler is going to get petrified, so momentary 3v2. Snipe is lining up. Randler able to roll out of it just in time, but Sirius continuing to keep that pressure onto Lucy. Jade going down as well. See you later. Now 2 versus 3. And a chance maybe for Red to get themselves back in here. Randler getting pulled away by Uncle Paul, being a bro. Getting the team grouped back together as they are just hounding Condemn at the moment. Sirius ultimate will come out. Xanox easily able to jump and dodge away from that. Shifu ultimate as well. Connects a bit of damage onto Xanox though. Condemned extremely hurt. Gets in capped. And trying to finish that one off counter. It's not going to hit. Immaterial for the time being, but Uncle Paul should be able to finish that. Indeed he will. Now Void King 1 versus 3. And now we are tied up at 1-1.
The hammer sickle combo.
Hammer sickle combo.
Freya and Rakan just slid. That Jade didn't stand a chance. She tried to use her material, then she tried to spacebar away. It didn't matter. They just chased her down. They understand. They wanted. She is the main distance damage dealer right now. I mean, Condemned is going to be in there poking around, doing his thing. Jade's actually just in the middle of all this because she wants to get her immaterials off on her allies, and she's saving her space and her stealth to potentially get away. Although she's using that immaterial, she's using the cooldown on her stealth for the immaterial instead for her teammates, which is really cool to see Jade playing as like a mixed support almost.
Yeah, which is something you don't see every day, and it's certainly have used that combo, that EXQ ability from Jade, comboing it nicely with her teammates, and
I mean, it gives Shifu even more time to just do what he does.
right, and that is to deal out some pretty incredible damage. Though Shifu already has been knocked down quite low on health as they've been targeting Randler a bit. The orb is up, Condemned able to secure, and Void King continuing to keep pressure onto Randler at the top, gets petrified in the middle of it though, and now Condemned is still getting hunted by Uncle Paul, though he's pretty hurt. It's continuing that pressure. And Rakan getting petrified. The snipe out will connect with Freya as well, and Lucy just trying to stay alive back here in the corner. Finally meets up with her team, and they've separated a bit for now. The snipe landing yet again onto Xanox. Here comes the ultimate as well. Couple shots connecting with Xanox, getting good damage. Double in cap as well. Now it's just Lucy all by herself, uses that barrier. Gets out for the time being, trying to support the rest of the team from the back line, and Condemned as well.
They just want to take him out, but he's just barely getting out.
Just barely, and now the Sirius ultimate as well is going to connect a good bit. Oh, Lucy finally going down. She had to roll away, but Condemned was waiting for her on the other side of the roll, and it's a 2 versus 3 now. Rakan ultimate is out, gets in capped in the middle of it by Condemned, and now Frey ultimate as well, just missing the connection, I believe, on the Clerney, though. Frey continuing to just pound away. Condemned finally coming to the rescue, though, keeping Freya at bay, who is extremely hurt, finally finished off, and Uncle Paul will join the rest of them in the respawn queue. That is now 2-3 for, or 2-1, excuse me, for Bruce Lee.
Somehow Condemned able to escape that. I mean, I thought he was going down, but he did he did a fantastic job of actually dodging the Shadow Bolt from Rakan at the very end. It might have been what would have finished him off. I think it would have brought him to just underneath 10 health from what he had. But he was able to kind of sidestep it, able to, mind game him. They thought he was going to run towards the middle, and he actually hugged the wall instead. He missed the M2, and it was what helped him. Then he used his, his harpoon to try and get his way out of there.
And he got out.
He healed up a bit, picked up some green orbs, which if you pick up both is 12 active health, 12 max health.
Yeah, and I mean, right at the start of the fight, he had gotten chunked down quite a bit. He was going to go down pretty early in the round, but he was able to manage his abilities well, keep himself in the fight. as it is now 2-1 for Bruce Lee, and right away Randler seeing a lot of pressure. And will be staying relatively healthy, at least for now. And Clooney, the Jade taking quite a bit of damage, gets pulled right back in by Uncle Paul and trying to line up a snipe, missing it. He's quite hurt in that top right corner. Clooney just trying to stay away, gets pulled, jumps away just in time. Clooney's so hurt. Immaterials yet again gets the EX. Immaterial there getting serious in the middle of it, who was ulting, dealing some damage. Finally, Clooney had gone down, double in cap from Shifu. And the Petrify off on Uncle Paul as well, hitting that counter nicely. But Void Knight in dire straits at the moment as Uncle Paul's trying to hunt him down. And, oh, he countered, but nobody's going to proc at Uncle Paul. They're waiting for him as soon as it was over, and Condemned 1v3, I'd imagine, will be going down here in just a second, but that will even us up at 2-2 once the man gets finished. There he goes. 2-2 it is in our first. This is our first map in the best of 3.
They're making it to game 5, and as you know, just to reiterate, as you said, this is a best of 3 maps.
Yes.
We are in the quarterfinals, but you know, we're trying something new today. And so far I'm liking it. I think it's making for a lot of diversity in comp picks and the map differences as well. So it's forcing teams to try different things. But you're talking about burst capabilities again. I mean, in 3s, that's a lot of what you want to do. You want to try and chunk that max health as much as you can. In Shifu Jade Sirius, if you have a fully charged M2 from Shifu, and Sirius's weapon is charged as well, and a Jade Snipe, all combined, can deal 84 damage with no energy. Even with 25% energy, it's pretty much their best combo.
84, that's some pretty hefty damage, if I do say so myself. Here comes a snipe, it's gonna connect with Randler. As Clooney was just sitting in the back right away, just chunked down so quickly. Was Randler, and that spells trouble for the rest of My Conviction. Is now they're stuck in a 2 versus 3 situation, and oh, Uncle Paul just getting crushed, absolutely mulched on that round. Jade,
that was just
Freya trying to, you know, do a little bit extra damage, pad the stats, but either way, man, Bruce Lee just taking it to him in that last round, finishing off our first map 3-2.
No time to breathe, and I think we finally saw some of that burst damage capability.
Yeah.
I mean, lining up, I feel like that's a portion of why Sirius is also very strong. We've seen what he can do, especially, I don't actually recall which Battlerekt he went. I wasn't able to catch it. But if he goes to Battlerekt where if he lands his R, it actually recharges his weapon. And he also has his EX space charges weapon as well. So technically with 50% energy, if he waits for his weapon to charge up, he can just land his charge weapon 3 times in a row. Each one dealing 22 damage and weakening on you, which makes you deal 50% less damage. Yeah, that's a whole lot of damage. If you have the rest of your team focus firing there, that is just going to be, well, it's going to be sad days for the rest of your team. It's just dishing out incredible damage. So they take the first map anyway. 3-2 in a good game 5 or round 5. So keep in mind all maps for the rest of this are going to be best of 3, and let us know what you think about that. You can do that on Twitter and various other outlets. Let us know what you think of our format that we've decided today. Maybe some suggestions for the future. And you can follow us on Twitter at Battlerekt. And you can follow our personal Twitters as well and let us know there too. Yeah. We like followers. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're selfish people. I've got stupid things that I want the world to hear. Yeah, right. You know, gotta tell somebody. So yeah. No one listens to me anyways. It's all right. Here, I'm surprised you guys even do. But yeah, I mean, as he was saying, essentially, so we're gonna be going into our second round of this matchup very soon. The first one. Yes, our second map will be coming shortly. We're just waiting to get back in the game, but. You know, I again curious to see the changing comps, and it's one of the things that I really do love about this. You kind of touched on it. One of the things I like about this format that we're running, at least today, giving teams a good opportunity to counterpick on heroes based on the maps that they have coming up. You know, if things weren't, you know, gelling, and there's a lot of mind games there too, because you know you have to be thinking in the back of your head. You know, are we trying to counter what they just used last round, or are they going to change it up too? You know, what do we play off of? You know, what champs do we pick based on those mind games? There's a lot of good opportunities for some trickery there, and I think it adds another great element to the competitiveness of the game. Yeah, of course, like, you know, champion bans and potentially even like some sort of drafting phase is something that we've all thought about. I think everyone's thought of the idea. But right now, there's not a whole lot of champions, and I think it might shut out a little bit too much of the team compositions if we do that. So we're definitely, it's an idea that we're dishing with. And if anyone has fantastic ideas, seriously, let us know.
Yeah.
So for now, I think the blind picking is kind of cool, especially, but to kind of deal with that in its own way, this is why we do alternating rounds. So you have a little bit of a chance to try and counterpick. And you don't know if they're going to pick the same team comp. It adds a little bit of excitement and a little bit of hope.
And speaking of switching up the team comps, we see now that they also have a Jade of their own over on My Conviction.
Replacing Rakan.
Yeah, they're deciding to go with a Jade this time. So I believe that is the only change that we have, though. It's the only one we're going to see. So maybe that'll change things up just enough for them. Add what they needed. A little snipe from Clerney is able to connect with Randler as he just continues to keep that pressure up. They are really pushing them back into spawn as Uncle Paul got end cap right in the middle of that, and Randler is in dire straits at the moment, just trying to focus him down, hitting that counter as well. Has to use barrier once this is up. Doesn't have roll, doesn't have barrier. Petrify is out as well. Should we finish off? Gets the immaterial, at least for the time being. Cap finally finished off, though. Excellent focus fire, getting on her. And now it is a 2 versus 3.
Silenced right out of her ultimate.
Oh, and shut down right after the jump. And that is rough. Now Xanox 1 versus 3, trying to finish off Condemned. Might make this 1v3 possible, but the ultimate, nope. They say a lot of ultimates, a lot of damage, and that'll give Bruce Lee a 1-0 lead.
Changing to Jade slightly increases their burst capabilities. I think it's also they want to almost counter probably with their own group immaterials, and her disabling shot is strong as all get out. I mean, especially in the middle of a fight, you don't really realize it's coming. Essentially, your next ability, if you cast anything in half a second after it hits you, you'll get silenced, but that also counts for channeled abilities. So if you're channeling something and then she hits you with it, you'll immediately get silenced because you're about to cast something.
Yeah, and certainly disrupt the flow of the team fight. Man, just look at this pressure. Void King and Condemned both going so hard, so deep onto Randler. They do get petrified. Condemned does at least, but man, they are just pushing them all the way back into spawn. Both Jades are fighting off to the side. Uncle Paul trying to line up for a snipe. A big swing and a miss on that one, though. And Randler is just desperately trying to hit those heals, using the barrier. I don't think has much else now, especially after using that roll as Void King and Condemned both going in. And there goes Randler. Just nothing he could do about it. Not enough protection, not enough mobility, and Xanox won again, 1 versus 3. And should seal the deal. Man, just they are literally just going all in for Randler there, and there's nothing he can do.
Alex Trebek, I'll take what is an orb for 500, please?
Yeah, really.
No one's going for center. Nobody cares at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Really
like this is exactly what I expected from a. I mean, look at that. A Shifu serious. They have to get in your face to deal damage. The moment they take a step back and allow themselves to get poked, I mean, even Freya's M2 can dish out some damage. She didn't go the double build, which you don't see as much anymore after her changes. So, you know, instead she wants to get that charge lightning. She wants, when she gets in, to be empowered as opposed to poking from a distance. But now they've switched to Jade. She's got to be careful. When she gets in there, she's all alone.
So far, this pick this change-up not working out very well. And look at this. They're continuing to hound Randler as he got that double in cap. Condemned did, and Randler really was trying to build those battle rights for survivability. So far, it's not working. Just trying to dish out those heals. Everybody going in material at least. Able to loop back around. Still no one going for that center orb, though. A triple in cap and the Petrify gonna line up a snipe. Randler taking the brunt of it and using Swift Roll to get away. Still so hurt. Everyone goes in material yet again. Able to connect
the first orb of the round.
I know. It's amazing. We finally see it. Oh, gets stunned right in the middle of the ultimate. Randler able to stay alive just for now, but the ultimate from Sirius as well. Immaterial out from all three of them. Able to stay alive for now, but they are just stuffed in this corner. And man, they are just keeping up the pressure as well.
The fact that they're alive blows my mind. There goes Lucy, finally from the blind. Oh no, Uncle Paul!
Uncle Paul, come on, man. That's all right. He knew.
He watched his friends go down, and he wanted to join them.
He was.
Oh, fantastic, though. I'm loving seeing the new team comps.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Great. Honestly, the first one, where it's just an all-out, like, bruiser brawl,
Yeah.
I don't think an orb. I think that was the first orb taken the entire series. I'd almost feel. And I think there was one taken like later game when they finally had to separate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's literally 1 or 2 orbs during that whole match, like both maps. Which is just wild. So, you know, those guys, as you said, really had that bruiser comp that they could just get in there, dive, and I mean, Randler, God bless the man, he was just getting pounded on by Sirius and Shifu. He couldn't do anything about it. You know, once you use that roll barrier, maybe your E to panic someone away, you're done.
I mean, once, honestly, like, it was like watching like 2 kids fight and their dad finally pulled them apart, and then eventually an orb might get taken. I mean, they're just bashing each other the whole time. And those Jaden materials, I've never seen those used so frequently.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I mean,
like the entire time, every time, like, I mean, she would get some ults in, but so many EX stealths that just her entire team was just free to do whatever they wanted for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, they can either reposition, you know, do something wacky. You know, it has a lot of utility for sure.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick look at a replay there in the final round of this series. It was going to be a triple in cap and a Jade Snipe, which is what helped lead them into this final, I guess, the kills. We're going to see that. Look at that. Shifu's perfect in cap, and then just for no reason, let's get a Petrify on there as well. Honestly, the Petrify might have actually saved Lucy from being killed there. Getting that 20 shield might have helped her from getting a little lower, and that was pretty much what sealed it for her. From then on, she had to run the rest of that match, just try and save herself. She wasn't able to support her allies. I mean, putting on pressure on a support is a big deal. Once you stop her from doing her job, which is supporting her actual allies, I mean, that's when they're not going to be able to do much, and the other two are going to be expecting it. You know, I don't say you ignore your support, but you kind of have like an idea, like, all right, I'm going to get healed here. Like, I'm not getting healed. What's happening? And then you look, like, oh God, Lucy's dead. Yeah,
my support has been getting hounded on this whole time and has just been trying to heal herself. Like, you know, it couldn't do anything about it. But with that being said, everyone has moved on now into the semifinals, so we'll be getting into those. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket, see what we have coming up for you guys. First, it will be Project Horizon against Winghaven and Friends, and then after that, we'll have Prepare to Die against Bruce Lee. Some good games. We've seen Project Horizon, of course, many a times in the 2v2 and 3v3s, and they got a crazy man named 213 on that team as well, who I'm always excited to watch play.
I mean, one of the best recon plays we've seen, just in general. His mechanical plays is absolutely insane. And in 2s, you can show that a lot more, but in 3s, it's a lot more organizing, as we just saw from the game that we just witnessed. I mean, it's more organizing your team and trying to get those abilities that help everybody out. And Jade's EX stealth came like huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge. This is huge. Huge. Yeah, so also, guys, with that being huge, you can also you can go ahead and check out our website as well. We would love you. Yeah, I was trying. You can the guy in my ear too just gave me a great idea that I should have used for tying that together.
Horrible.
But
that was an awful idea.
You can check out Battlerekt.com.
That was disgusting.
That was at least what we were going for. The end goal is the same. We got to plug the website. So yeah, Battlerekt.com. That's the thing. Go.
We have NA later today.
Yep, NA.
So if you find yourself wanting to play in the tournament later, go check it out.
Yep, check it out. He's getting excited, yelling about it. So anyway, guys, we are going to take a break. We'll be back in just a little bit, about 5 minutes or so for our semifinal games. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.
Welcome to the show.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are just about to get started into our semifinals of the Battlerekt EU 3v3 tournament. My name is Gex. This is Findable Carpet. We are sure excited to be here with you guys, and as I said, we'll be getting into our semifinals here in just a moment. But we just wanted to address a little something quick about you know, kind of the matches that we broadcasted today and how it fits into timing and the bracket.
Yeah, so as you guys know, we changed the setting up a little bit. We wanted to try and balance things out more to how the game is actually built, as opposed to just like a lot of games to try and get a lot of data out of these teams.
Yeah.
So we're doing the best of 3, best of 5 format, but because of that, it was going to extremely lengthen our broadcast time potentially, which is why we kind of picked two quarterfinal matches at random, and 2 got left out. And we do apologize. Of course, we would have loved to watch all the games. So we're going to use this as kind of a test run. Maybe it's not going to lengthen as much as we think. Or maybe, and we're going to try and be fair. As we go on, if we see a team a lot in the quarters, we'll try and move to ones we haven't seen as much. So, bear with us. And again, if you have any good ideas, maybe we can figure that out. If any of you want to find a way to manipulate time so it's not a big of an issue as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be awesome.
That would be great. Feel free to DM me.
Many others would appreciate as well.
I have personal reasons I'd like to use that skill.
Yeah.
If you have that as well.
Possibly sell that skill. Could make millions. Yeah. But yeah, so definitely let us know, guys. But we will, with that being said, let's go ahead, take a look at our bracket anyway. We have our semifinal games coming up, some good ones at that. Project Horizon versus Winghaven and Friends coming up first. And then Mycon will be taking on Bruce Lee right after that. Project Horizon, always fun to watch those guys.
Mycon, prepare to die, didn't even get to face my conviction, which I believe.
Yeah.
If context clues are functioning in my head, I'm able to figure out is who they were hunting down. But they go down to the quarterfinals.
Sad.
Now they have no reason to live.
No.
They're just going to give
Prepare
up.
to die.
They're probably done. They probably just all went home.
Done. Uninstalled the game. Never to play again. So, yeah, which is sad because now they will also miss out on the opportunity to play for our prizing in this tournament, which is $200 first place, $100 second place, as well as a demonic steed for everyone that has made it into the top 8. Get themselves a demonic steed, whether they want to hoard that or maybe they don't have one.
There's got to be some hoarding because a lot of these players we've seen so many times. They're just
at
this point they have
give
to
me
just
the
be
steeds.
gathering them up. They have a little document which is a bunch of keys.
Tell you, gotta create myself a spreadsheet for all those keys. And here we go, heading into game. Winghaven and Friends against Project Horizon. Some very skilled players on both of these teams. Should be really into watch. 2-on-3 is taken on Corrupted right away as he was trying to get himself into the thick of things. And he's going to get shut down. Actually, Corrupted is in onto Blanks and Hot Biscuit. Now going in material, trying to get back in, gets a double in cap, trying to line up one of those big arrows, and it was able to connect with 2-1-3. So he took quite a bit of damage, just now receiving heals from Blanks. The orb is up, Red is able to secure that. It's 2-1-3 just pulling him right back in, but now trying to back up with the rest of his team is Corrupted, just continuing to keep up that pressure. Ultimate from Sirius in the back gets a lot of damage on 2-1-3 and company, getting pulled in the end and silenced in the middle of his ultimate. But now 2-1-3 is really hurt, uses Zar to get away, needs some heals desperately or the barrier, but unable to get it. The goo came out as well. Corrupted also quite hurt, gonna have to try and focus him down quickly. Ultimate from Hot Biscuit. Corrupted is so hurt back there, he's trying to hunt him down. Another serious ultimate's gonna land onto Hot Biscuit as well. Blanks is quite hurt. Winghaven just missing his ultimate as well, so they do have the opportunity to pull this off, I'd reckon.
I think Hot Biscuit can do it, although it's going to be oh, the triple.
Oh my goodness, the stun as well, the ultimate. No way, Hot Biscuit able to do so much damage. That counter got hit though, Lucy goes down. He's got to try and finish off Corrupted if he can, but I'm thinking it may not happen here. He's able to hit one stun, but he's just got so much firepower coming his way. First round is going to go over to Winghaven.
2-1-3 going down first. As we mentioned how strong of a Rakan he can be, he's got so much pressure, so much presence, and if you watch, no matter how low he is on health, he doesn't alter his playstyle. He's going to go in confidently with full health or with 20 health. He doesn't care. He has faith in his Lucy. He knows Blanks is going to be there to support him. They have their synergy down. And that's, I think, what also helps make him so strong. He doesn't play timid when he's low. When he's low, he still goes out to dish as much damage as possible, because even in threes, you can kind of be that sacrificial, you know, goat, where you're just like, you go deal a bunch of damage, you might die, but if you can bring someone down with you, especially with a strong player like Hot Biscuit.
Hot Biscuit. Yeah.
There's a chance they could win a 2v2 pretty strongly.
So they're trying to get themselves back in here. Good flick from 213. As center orb will be coming up now. Winghaven's taken quite a bit of damage. I think 213 might want a little bit of piece of that if he can get it. Gets the pull in and the silence. And now using his ultimate as well. Gets in-capped in the middle of it though. Completely shut down. Blank's getting pressured quite a bit from Corrupted as Hot Biscuit attempting to come to the rescue here and help his woozy teammate. The goo comes out though from Blanks, doing a lot of damage. Corrupted has nothing to get away from it. Finally able to get himself out of there. Serious using his ultimate, but gets silenced in the middle of it. Using his counter, he has nothing else. This may be a time for them to go ahead and jump in. Corrupted gets pulled by 213 and finished off. So now Lumi and Winghaven, the only ones left on red, and quite hurt is Winghaven. And Lumi, actually both of them. Here's the Serious ultimate as well. Cancels just in time to avoid the stun, but going down in the end now, tying things up at 1-1.
Canceling playing such a strong play, and especially at such a high level of skill. Being able to recognize, like, noticing that stun's right underneath you. It's one of those things you're planning for the future. I mean, it's not just, you're not always just reacting. He knows he's about to ult. Ashka. What does Ashka have to deal with? He really has that stun, right? So you're almost sitting and waiting for it. As soon as he sees it, he cancels it, tries to get out of the way of it. Granted, in that situation, he was a little too low on health to be able to do much from there. Right. But it's being able to understand what your opponent has ability-wise, and also what they have on and off cooldown. And the more you're able to predict that, the more you're able to play your game, and they have to counter around you.
Now tied up 1-1. This is our first map in the best of 3 maps in our semifinals here. And right away going in is Corrupted, hit his counter as well, and he wants to try and keep the pressure onto Blanks as Serious jumps in as well. His counter gets hit by 213. Oh, the counter yet again being hit for Corrupted. And Red was able to secure that center orb, and Corrupted keeping a lot of pressure on. Gets stunned though. 213 able to hit the silence as well, doing a good job of chunking Corrupted down. And the ultimate from Serious to back them off, as Hot Biscuit took some of that, but for the time being, health advantage is in favor of Red by just a little bit. They're able to secure that orb as well. Corrupted giving it the right click to get the orb, and now, good plays from Corrupted. Oh, the Whirling Blade coming out as well. Hot Biscuit taking a lot of damage. Corrupted's counter getting hit yet again. Another double Petrify. Ashka ult out from Hot Biscuit. Was able to connect just a bit. The goo comes out as well, but they're all so hurt as Corrupted in the middle of it. Oh no, another Serious ultimate in the back. Recon goes down. That's 213 out of it. Hot Biscuit chased quickly after that, and Blanks left in the 1v3. Will be finished off 2-1.
The Shot of Doom.
Shot of Doom
from Winghaven. It's interesting. So for Winghaven and friends, they have 2 channeled ults and a charge ult. So when Shifu ults, he's got to spin around and hopefully stick around you for a while. When Serious ults, he's got to hopefully not get silenced and keep his big energy of death, ray of sunshine.
The sun.
Hopefully pinned on you. And with Jamong, it takes him a long time. You know he's charging, and he makes a lot of sound.
Yep.
He decides to shout it out that he's
very
letting you know.
Telegraphed.
He's like, I'm going to ult now. Just give me a few seconds to charge up, guys. And
watch out.
And then it comes your way. Paired up with some good CC with some teammates, he's able to land it. But, definitely harder for them to land their ultimates as compared to Lucy and Ashka.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of theirs very telegraphed, indeed. And Hot Biscuit was petrified, then got in-cap. Corrupted is on Blanks as 213 is just taken on Winghaven, but now Lumi's coming to Winghaven's rescue. 213 is taking quite a bit of damage. Needs to be careful because Blanks is a bit distracted at the moment, does get the barrier. And Corrupted may be one of their easier targets. He's just sitting in the back here, very low on health. 213 also, though, quite hurt himself using the ultimate. And Hot Biscuit used his, was unable to connect. Serious ultimate doing a lot of damage. 213 gets pulled in, and the goo out as well, but nobody in the middle of it. Lumi hit his counter and was able to avoid that goo. So Still got a 3v3 situation, but health advantage is slightly in favor of Project Horizon, at least for now. Incap out onto Hot Biscuit, and Corrupted connecting with that right click, doing quite a solid chunk of damage. And both teams just sitting back, poking away on both sides of the middle. Oh, 2-1-3 hitting a very long counter from Lumi there. Not something you see very often from 2-1-3, but
Corrupted getting so low.
he's able to stay alive, at least for now. Ooh, using counter, not able to hit it. 2-1-3 is in as well. He's got to be careful. Quite hurt. Blanks is rushing over to try and support, using his ultimate as well. Can't connect onto Corrupted though, who gets panicked away. Should
Oh, he just
maybe gets the counter. Good wait there from 2-1-3 not to proc that counter. And he's able to finish off the Shifu. Ashka ultimate takes down Jumong, and there we go. Finally, all three of them finished off, and we got a 2-2 game here in our first map.
It was hard to see it happen so fast, but 2-1-3 ulted there at the very end.
We just don't miss.
And a preemptive strike to try and save him. Lucy, I believe, threw a clarity potion at him as Shifu was about to incap. Shifu gets the incap as the clarity potion landed, and that's when it let Rakan able to just get enough sustain, get that one right click which gave him just enough health to survive, and then his ult wore off as Shifu decided to counter. He didn't bite on the counter, had his silence charged weapon as soon as he came out, and they were able to take down Shifu, but that's the support that the Rakan gets. That's what 2-1-3 gets from Blanks all the time, and it's why they're such a strong duo. And then Hot Biscuit just running around, firing up the place.
Oh yeah, literally firing up the place.
And I don't even know if he needs to support half the time. He does such a good job on his own, trying to suppress that Jumong, trying to keep him down with those firewalls.
He's got a lot of, quite a bit of mobility himself, pretty slippery, so here we go, 2-1-3 in already, trying to really take it to Winghaven, and counters out is going to be hit for Corrupted as he keeps on to Blanks, but Corrupted quite hurt here. He's got to be careful, might need to get some heals himself as he's just trying to back off and get sustained, and 2-1-3 is just going to walk forward with Consume in hand and just keep going at these guys, getting sustained from the back by Blanks, using his ultimate, pulling in Winghaven, who doesn't have anything else to get himself out of there. He's quite hurt himself. Serious ultimate, Hot Biscuit able to connect on a couple of them, and Winghaven is really hurt now, so is Lumi. Honestly, the whole side of Winghaven and friends quite hurt here, as the orb will go away. Shifu going down, and the goo comes out as well. Nobody's gonna be in the middle of that, and now Winghaven and friends very hurt. Petrify out, the double Petrify. And Winghaven's off all by himself, goes down. Lumi couldn't give him any heals, and that puts him in a 1 versus 3. That should spell the end, tried to ult, but there you go. Project Horizon taking the first map in this best of 3, and a 3-2 victory there.
I mean, that was as close can get.
Yeah.
Fantastic turnaround from them. I'm surprised they were able to do as much as they did. They were able to really come out there at the very end. And the average, I mean, even Winghaven though, average damage from Winghaven, highest in the entire match, 649. Rakan with 469, but Hot Biscuit with 539. I mean, the sustained damage in general. And, you know, it doesn't, I don't think it states it in the direct, in the actual ability, but when Ashka ults, it actually gives you, it's a half-second stun on anyone that he goes over. It kind of pops him up, or just a fun little animation, but it's essentially a half-second interrupt stun, which is how he's able to use it to get Sirius out of that ult. And then he, you know, Molten chained right after his EXQ to stop him again from another ultimate. And the ultimate's strong for Sirius. I mean, it heals allies for up to 100, and it deals damage for up to 100, and it heals him for the same amount. Strong, but if you're able to shut it down early on and leave Sirius with not enough energy to do it again,
right,
and in a sticky situation.
Yeah, it can be quite easy to shut down. So something to be aware of for Sirius, for sure, when he goes to use that.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick look at a replay there in the final game of this match. It's going to be this fantastic ultimate from 2-1-3. We talk about how risky it can be because you lose capabilities of all your other abilities. You're not able to cast anything, but this pulls them both in, forcing Shifu to use his immaterial, forcing Sirius to try and back off and heal himself. He's not able to support his allies as much. And then after that, we see Jumong just starts to get pounded down. He pulls him in, even through the rain of arrows, doesn't care. He's going to sustain through the damage of that. I think two swipes alone would sustain all the damage of his rain of arrows, so it really didn't matter for him there. Yeah. And we see Jumong going down very shortly after.
Yeah, man, and once they got right at the end of the replay there, you can see them all clustered down in the bottom right corner, Hot Biscuit getting his ult off, and man, especially in threes, if you get caught down in one of those corners, man, it is just bad news bears, man. You are going to get absolutely pounded, and there's not much you can do about it. So, you know, positioning's key, kids.
Yeah,
gotta keep yourself out of those corners.
Yeah, against any team with AoE ultimates. I mean, Rakan is like a hunter. As soon as he ults, he's going to be trying to chase you down, pull you in. Granted, his pull's not a full distance. It's actually it's a specific set distance that he pulls you in. So the farther you are, the harder it's going to be for him to get you in. But it still deals 20 damage every time he chunks you with one. Yep. And he still gets healed every time. So you might be at a decent distance, but he's going to just like, come here, and you're just going to keep getting more and more chunked. So hopefully you have somebody to help you know, CC him, which we see so many times. But Lucy now trying to get that predict, throwing those clarity potions on him as soon as he gets ulted to try and counter that counter play. The counter.
Counter.
And then someone would have to hopefully follow up with another hard CC on Rakan.
Yeah, and you know, 2-1-3 and Blanks especially have that really good synergy. They play twos together, and you know, they know how each other play. They know how what their habits are and whatnot. You know, it's great to have that kind of synergy as well. So here we go, Project Horizon with a 1-0 lead in our first semifinal of our best of three maps. So here we go. Looks like we will have the same team compositions out from both sides as we do our change in maps as well. Nobody decided to switch it up, and both teams just poking for the time being. Center Orb is going to be coming up here very shortly, as they're able to secure it. Hot Biscuit is just barely, and getting those right clicks off onto Corrupted, as well as 2-1-3 trying to continue getting that damage. Blanks at the moment down on the bottom there, you can see just trying to avoid Winghaven, and Hot Biscuit finally coming to the rescue and laying in the damage, while 2-1-3 up top just keeping Corrupted and Lumi at bay. But
Winghaven getting outplayed right now by Hot Biscuit. He's gonna try to ult in. Oh no!
Not able to connect.
And Lucy's ult.
Both of them whiffing. Here comes the right click. Now 2-1-3 there with the consume, able to completely shut that one down. He gets in cap though. Winghaven in the back is really hurt. Sirius able to use his ultimate, got a lot of good damage off, but finally going down right at the tail end of it. Blanks getting pressured by Corrupted though. The stun from Hot Biscuit, and 2-1-3 just pounding away. Uses his ultimate, the Whirling Blade finally going down though. He didn't have much health to stay alive during that fight. The right click from 2-1-3 will finish it off, giving him a 1-0 lead.
It's actually really interesting watching Jamong and Ashka have a little 1v1 situation. The bigger difference between these two, yes, Jamong has a lot of damage, and especially his M1 actually does significant damage just right out, but his character comes to a halt as soon as he starts to M1. Ashka's doesn't. Yes, he slows down, but it gives him a little bit of advantage of trying to predict Jamong. Jamong now has to be careful of when he M1s, because it's going to bring him to a halt. It's going to be easier for Hot Biscuit to at least land his, while it's going to be a little harder for Jamong to land his, because Ash is going to be able to continue moving around. And once Jamong comes to a halt to start using it, so we saw Hot Biscuit land a lot of consecutive M1s, which dealt a lot of that early damage, as well as putting up that firewall to try and prevent damage on himself.
Corrupted, really getting some damage off onto Blanks here. It looks like Lumi and Corrupted both want to try and hunt down that support if they can. Hot Biscuit is there to keep them at bay for now. And meanwhile, 2-1-3 just left clicking away at Winghaven. He's right in the middle of things. Already has his ultimate, and Winghaven might be going down quite early here. Goes in material last second. But, getting pulled back in. 2-1-3 finishes him off. Great play now. It's a 3v2 situation. And, Corrupted using his counter, not able to hit it. He really wants to finish off his support if he can. The goo comes out. Sirius goes down. And Shifu used his ultimate there, but didn't really find all that much value. He knows it's done. And Project Horizon now going up 2-0.
74% health pool this time, quite a lot. And if we just want to look at like CC between the two of them, they're not too far apart. I mean, total hard CC on the side of Winghaven and friends. They have 9.1 seconds of total hard CC with all their abilities. Project Horizon with 9.5, so pretty similar. Top stuns though, we see Winghaven and friends with 1.2 seconds compared to the 0.6 for their enemies on the other side. And I don't think it plays a massive factor, but those pulls in from Rakan mixed with the silence, and I believe he also built, yes he did, he wants more pulls. So he built his Claw, his Death Grip, which gives him 3-second reduced cooldown, and his Death's Embrace, which will root them once he pulls them in. So once he pulls them in, he gets to root them for 1.2 and then get his silence off. His team gets to help wail on him. He wants to hopefully take off some of that max health.
Wants those sweet pulls hitting the counter. of Shifu. Barriers down for Blanks as well. And 213 is trying to maybe see if he can grab that orb, unable to do so though. And getting barriered yet again is serious ultimate already. Got some good damage on 213. He's actually taking quite a bit here between Winghaven and Corrupted. They are just crushing him at the moment. He really needs to get some heals from Blanks, which he is doing. He has his ultimate as well. And Blanks now is the target of quite a lot of their pressure. And they are actually, I think Hot Biscuit was able to secure that orb with a left click like last second, but Lumi and Corrupted both have their ult. Blanks has the crippling goo as well. So keep an eye out. 213 is soon going to have his ult, and Hot Biscuit may be up on it here. And now Winghaven's got his whole course of ultimates maybe coming out here shortly. The goo, 213 pulls Winghaven right into it. But now Shifu going in, getting that. Oh, Harpoon, Sirius using his ultimate as well. Rakan gets the ultimate out as well. All of them being used. But 213, so hurt, needs to be careful. He's got silence for the Hot Biscuit ultimate as well. Corrupted really hurt the corner there. 213 doesn't have the support from Blanks though to stay alive. Shifu goes down right after, and it's a 2 versus 2 situation. Hot Biscuit and Blanks against Winghaven and Lumi. Center orb is up as well, as one will be crucial.
I think Winghaven was able to get it. He used his firewall. I think it might have been a bit preemptive. That is a massive cooldown. There was a 20-second cooldown on that firewall. He might have wanted to wait for potentially a Jamong ultimate to shut down or maybe a little more damage, but I guess if they're not going to put pressure on now that the wall is down, he's going to be able to rebuild that cooldown.
This is a big round for Winghaven and friends. They need to win it to keep themselves alive in this tournament. And Seeker's Mark is on.
Here comes another conflagration.
That firewall again. Are able to secure the center orb though, and now we are deep into sudden death. This is going to get lower and lower. Here comes the ultimate out from Lumi. The stun came out, forced him to jump away. The ult from Ashka as well is able to do quite a bit of damage to Winghaven. Blanks though just desperately trying to get those heals out onto himself. Jumok goes down. Now just a 1 versus 2. The goo out as well. Lumi trying to keep himself in, gets knocked out by Hot Biscuit. It's coming right back into the arena. Seeing if he can get the Petrify. Was able to though. The panic out from Blanks. Oh, the deadly inject finishes off the Sirius, and that is Project Horizon taking map 2 3-0, and they will win the match.
Ashka, 1,020 damage that round.
Whew.
Unprecedented amount of damage. But still Jamong out-averaging him at 680. I mean, they did what they could. That was fantastic matches, both of those games. Project Horizon will move on into our finals.
Oh yes.
Winghaven and friends doing a great job though. I mean, and this is again those team comps that are coming into play. I think Ashka's firewall does a great job against Jamong. Jamong does it. He can stay back. He's got a lot of mobility. He can go in and out. But when that firewall's up, he's got to be careful of when he goes in and out.
Right.
Being able to come in, but then once he leaves, if the firewall goes up, and especially when he builds conflagration, he's able to dish out crazy damage, turning those fireballs into just these massive,
bigger fireballs that do more damage and stuff. Yeah. So as we said, Project Horizon is going to move on to our grand finals, and we will be having another semifinal match coming up for you here very shortly with teams that we saw from the quarterfinals that we casted earlier. We'll be getting into that shortly, but so far seeing some good ones. Project Horizon also well known from the 2s scene. They added Hot Biscuit into their 3s lineup, and you know, also a very talented player to go along with 213 and Blank, so it's good to see them succeeding and get themselves into our grand finals. Yeah,
213 and Blanks do fantastic as a pair, and Hot Biscuit does fine solo. Honestly, he just kind of does what he has to. Out in the back, he does whatever he wants to. But we're going to take a little quick shot at another replay for this one. It was essentially going to be the overtime win. This is it at the very end. We're going to see that good Sears ult, but then forced out of it by the Ashka stun, and then getting pushed out. And this ultimate, just as Jamong ult he wanted to, but he releases it, pushes Lucy out. He does a great job of letting go before Ashka's able to get that stun on him. But once that ignite is on him, Ashka knows he's got to keep that pressure up. He pushes him back into the AoE on the ground from his ultimate, and then just continues to wail on him. Jamong out of any kind of mobility, and then from there, they were just able to wail in the Sirius together. Between their CC, their pushes, they were able to push him out with whatever, the panic, clarity potion, and
charge from
Ashka.
and
the charge from Ashka, able to just continue to keep him in the darkness. Now, you guys might have noticed, for those just tuning in, our format's a little different today.
Yep.
So essentially what we did is when they got to the round of 8, we're doing 3 best of 5s. So a best of 3, best of 5 for all the rounds coming up, which is also why we weren't able to cast every single game because I believe it would have extended the broadcast by just a tiny bit too much for what we're capable of at the moment. We're hoping to be able to change that in the near future. But let us know what you think. Let us know if you like this format. I think it's really cool. We're getting to see a lot more unique play styles, a lot more unique champion picks, and even some different Battlerekt choices.
Yeah, definitely. The counter picks as well, you know, changing in between maps. So it's a lot of fun to see, for sure. But let's go ahead, take a look at our bracket, see what match we have coming up. And that will be Mycon Prepared to Die going up against Bruce Lee. Winner of that will face Project Horizon in our grand finals. So got a couple more games just ahead for you guys, and should be some barn burners, as I like to say, hopefully at least.
Should be some barn burners. Mycon Prepared to Die no longer has a reason to play.
Yep.
I'm hoping they still are able to come out, give us some unique things.
Give us some heart.
They're the ones that gave us the unique team comp, I believe. I'm not going to mention it just in case. We're going to stay shush.
Yeah.
Talk about it in a sec. I just want to make sure that no one's listening, cheating.
Yeah.
In case they forgot, I don't want to oust their unique play styles too early on.
Yeah.
We want fair competition here.
You know, okay, yeah, that's priority number one, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, it was interesting for sure what they came out with in the first series. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see these different compositions. We were talking about it before. Excited to see different champs we don't normally see in competitive play necessarily. Because people kind of put the champs into different tiers, and some of which, obviously, some of the ones we've seen today, not as high up as your typical like Lucy's and Rakans and those sorts of things. So it's good to see some variety. We love it. We love it. Plus, teach me a little bit how to play some of these champs, because I'm awful with them. So
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's 3s now. So in 3s, having that entire extra kit of abilities of either it be CC or damage, you're going to see interesting choices. And again, we're going to see Varesh, Lucy, and Taya in this match, which is what we saw earlier today.
Yeah, which is those two champs you don't normally see as much. Lucy, of course, very popular at the moment, but Taya and Varesh, at least in 2s, not so much, and it's great to see them here. So we'll see them go up against the same composition for Mycon Prepared to Die, or a composition we've seen today so far. Condemned on Shifu, Void King on Sirius, and Clurney on the Jade.
And Taya struggling in 2s because she doesn't have a lot of mobility, but here with the support, she might be able to dish out some like really massive damage if she goes unanswered.
Yes, she is just sitting in the back right now, getting those X boomerangs, and all of them going immaterial with that EXQ. And oh man, just dishing out that damage onto Clurney right now. They're getting them stuffed back into this corner. Condemned trying to initiate to get them outwards here. Gets the end cap onto Lucy, and now they're trying to pound onto Godov as they are able to deal quite a bit of damage. And Clurney really hurt down low as well. So they need to be careful. Void King over here on the side, just taking boomerangs left and right. Double Petrify now trying to get onto Lucy. Got a double end cap and the snipe. The barrier was there though to mitigate most of the damage. And Condemned comes in for the ultimate, just getting whatever damage he can before he dies. He's so hurt. Might go down in just a moment. Sirius falls. Condemned falls. And it is just Clurney. 1 versus 3. But that will be your first round, going over to Bruce Lee.
I would like to mention something. So Varesh, last time we saw him, he went the Battlerekt where his right click will actually bounce to a nearby enemy. So we'll actually be able to get that debuff on 2. Now, they probably saw how this team was going to play. Sirius, Shifu, and we see now this Jade being this weird, like, in the battle Jade, where she's getting her immaterials off. She's just standing in the middle of it all, trying her best to not take damage. So instead, Varesh, knowing he'd probably be getting surrounded, he went first Battlerekt with Zeal, where whenever he casts his shield on an ally or himself, it does a half-second stun to anyone around them. And then he went Celerity to help build it even more. Whenever that shield is on you, your movement speed is going to be increased by 25% and your damage output by 15. So being able to put that on Taya, she's going to be even faster. It's like a second haste for her. She has a haste, and then you can put the shield on her again, so she'll dish even more damage out, and she's going to be able to just... And it's what she's going unanswered. She's doing crazy damage right now. 544 last round. No one's able to shut her down because she's just so slippery.
Yeah, you know, that extra mobility allowing her to just fly around and toss boomerangs left and right at people, really dish out some of that damage.
Oh,
Man, here we go. Barrier goes down onto Taya. Speaking of her, as she's able to land a good X boomerang onto Jade down in the bottom as those two go at it. Meanwhile, up top you have the other 4 players. Kababi able to secure that center orb with those boomerangs, and having to use Tornado, and will just continue to haste around and dish out that damage. But Lucy so hurt, finally finished off by Kababi, as Clarity and Void King were able to do quite a bit of damage. And Kababi, very hurt as well, has to use Tornado. Condemned. They're ready to secure the kill at the end, and it is just Little Master, Varesh Meister himself, getting ulted right in the teeth, and finally finished off. That ties things back up here at 1-1.
That time putting on the pressure just a little too early on, a little too quickly. That end cap from Shifu early on, I think, is what helped turn it in their favor. He was able to shut them down. Ty wasn't able to escape. Varesh wasn't able to get supported by Lucy. And from there on out, they just dealt as much damage as they could. And I think actually Taya incidentally killed his own ally. I think she's the one that procced Shifu's counter, which is what let him finish off Lucy.
Sad.
Goldoff. I almost called him Goldoff.
Yeah.
Godov.
Godov. I don't know.
Godov.
Godov. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been going with, but blending them together. Godov. Anyway, it's 1-1 now in our first map in this best of 3. Good snipe onto Godov as Condemned goes in, has to get tornadoed by the Taya. Godov
shield
using that barrier, but really a lot of pressure coming onto the Lucy. Just chunked down so hard. Condemned Void King, and then Clurny in the back just dealing so much damage. The ultimate from Clurny as well, gonna connect a few shots with Kababi, and the counter is hit from Void King. The snipe from Clurny yet again is able to connect onto Kababi on Taya there. Condemned there to finish it off. Man, just an absolute mulching from them that round.
Trying to just play the objective-free game. They don't even want to bother with the center. They don't care about control.
Yep.
They just want to dominate. They want to dish out the damage. I mean, the amount of CC they have between Condemned and Endcap, Sirius's Petrify, Jade's Disabling Shot. There's just too much. Plus her stun. And she has actually her Snapshot, which is an instantaneous mini-stun. I mean, they're able to pin this team down so much. If Varesh, and even if Varesh lands his counter, we see him building his shield this time. All Battlerekt so far going into his shield. He builds Wonder in round 3 to absorb 14 more damage. So not only does it will now stun anyone around you, give you increased speed and damage, and now absorb even more damage. Whereas we see Taya going Cold Wind and Vortex, trying to give herself a little bit more time to breathe. And now every time she's out of her tornado, she'll build haste. Slayer, she wants to deal more damage. You know, the sustain and mobility, especially against a team that's just going to be down your throat the whole time.
Along with Taya going for that extra damage, Godov took the battle rate where Revitalize gives some extra damage output for teammates as well off that right click. So seeing maybe if they can pound away at them a little more. The double Endcap, man, Condemned is just all over Godov right now. The barrier is down as well as Void King in yet again for Godov. There's nothing that he can do to stay alive. His team's not helping him either. Now it's again a 2 versus 3 here, and Taya does have the ult, but Petrified in the middle of it. Very, very much put into the sad zone, and just now will get finished off, she knows. And that will secure it 3-1 for Bruce Lee, just targeting down that Lucy so hard off the start, and then immediately putting it into a 3v2.
Now remember, this is a best of 3 of 5. So we will see another round, but the first one's going to go to Bruce Lee. Mycon prepared to die. Their team comp did not fare so well after that first round. They did good the first round. They were able to dish out the damage. Taya was able to stay relatively unanswered in the beginning and just chunked away. But now they're like, fine, we're just going to go for your Lucy then.
Yep.
Lucy, as we mentioned hundreds of times, she only has her barrier on her roll to protect herself.
Yep.
And generally, she's going to use her barrier on other people. Now, Varesh can shield her as well.
Yeah.
Pretty big shield. I think they can do probably just over 80 after, especially he gets the battle right for his shield, because it's 50 for the barrier, and I'll say it's close to like 20-ish for Varesh's.
Yeah.
But in general, they just weren't able to survive and Condemn. I mean, you have to be careful getting those counters. Once you hit Condemn's counter, he's immaterial for a short period of time. is just going to start chunking it down. We're going to take a look at a quick replay for that one, though. In Game 3, this is when Bruce Lee just, I mean, we saw them do it twice, but this Lucy, watch her get just absolutely crushed. She's going to get followed through right here. Gets the right click. She's now buried, doesn't matter. She's going to get weakened as well. And then again, a double when he's going to land his R. Another, look at this. Oh, and then sniped as well. No one to follow up. Nothing. There was no tornado off of cooldown, I suppose, for Ty, so she wasn't able to help her.
Yeah.
Poor Lucy.
So much damage so quickly. Literally,
Nasty.
I think we were saying like 20 seconds it was from the start of the round that they just got in.
It was a minute 40 left. So yeah, 20 seconds in.
Just destroyed.
Wrecked.
Literally wrecked. And you know, that was definitely the struggle for them, especially in the later rounds. Just couldn't keep Lucy alive during those fights, and it's kind of one of the gambles that you take when you have Lucy. It has great sustain, really good heals. You can just pump them out with the right clicks all day. The clarity potions, great sustain, but the problem is when, you know, people just jump on your Lucy.
I mean, yeah.
Sirius and Shifu do that quite well too.
Positioning is key when you're playing somebody with not much mobility, and also supporting each other is key. Working as a team, which you've seen some teams do a fantastic job of. This time it was just, it was almost too much.
Yeah.
Lucy just got hounded down immediately. They didn't even think about it. They almost literally just ignored any other damage that was coming their way. So if there's a way for them to maybe get that, you know, get that stun, maybe back up, and then maybe get orb control. You know, get a couple orbs. It'll give you that ult, your ults faster. The Lucy ult mixed with a Varesh and Taya ult would be disgusting. I mean, Varesh's ult is hard. You know, it's hard to land them all, but it's also hard to dodge because you don't know where he's going to go. You want to just try and time an iframe as soon as he starts ulting so that he doesn't get it. But if you're all grouped up, which this team they're going against is all the time. I mean, Sirius and Shifu are just always on top of each other, and Jade, you know, always there as well.
Yeah, and they were really just getting pushed back, and as we saw yet again, not many people going for those orb controls there in that one. But guys, also remember to check us out on Twitter. You can go to follow us at Battlerekt. You can you know, give us feedback on this format or anything else that we have going on with the show. You know, compliment us, whatever you would like, compliment or yell at us.
Oh, real subtle.
Yeah, you know, we, as I've said before,
Real subtle grab at the compliments.
We like compliments.
We do.
It makes us feel warm and fuzzy.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, well, that's true. You know,
but yeah, I think the biggest thing is I want to know what you guys think of this new format. This is the first time we've changed a lot of the format.
Right.
We're trying to stray more towards what the game standard feels like, as opposed to the tournament standard we've seen so many times. And personally, I'm liking what it's giving us game-wise. I think these games are super interesting. We're getting to analyze a lot more of their counter picks, and we can get a little more into the minds of the players in between each round. And looks like you're going to go Paloma this time instead of Lucy. Try and get a little more escape with her other side, her panic. And she's going to be able to push the other team around a little more, and her AoE ult. I mean, now we're going to be able to, since this team groups up so much, I think her ultimate can be key, but they haven't been able to build up quick enough because they get, as Anthony, my friend, says all the time, mulched way too quickly.
Yes, they were getting mulched, man. And I do like the switch to Paloma because just could not keep enough, you know, couldn't keep Lucy alive. So maybe it'll help him a little bit. Kalami gets stunned, or gets sniped right away, excuse me, by Clerney. But here we go, the pressure onto Paloma yet again. Gets in-capped, has to use other side now. Doesn't have that panic up yet either, but here it comes again. Ganav just getting absolutely crushed, getting that shield from Varesh, but still, Sirius goes down. And now, so does Jade. I was too busy watching Ganav get chunked down. The others from Bruce Lee managed to just get crushed in the process, but that will be a big comeback round for
You did what they did, and everyone ignored Kababi while he just rank-slanged his way to the top of that damage board. 421.
Yeesh.
That match lasted, what, 45 seconds?
Wow. And that's a lot of damage.
Because on top of it, his left click is one of the only left clicks that goes through. He can actually hurt multiple people. Like, there is a 35% reduction for every enemy that it hits, so it doesn't do as much, but he's one of the only people, I think he's the only one, whose M1 can actually go through and deal damage. So since this team groups up so much, if she doesn't get pressured, she doesn't get, you know, dealt with, she's just going to continue to deal damage to everybody.
Yeah, just sit there and hammer away with those boomerangs, and she comes snipe, lining up, gets other-sided by the Paloma in the back there. Another snipe, but Kababi doing a good job of using that tornado on his support friend right in the middle of it. Counter hit by Condemned as Void King and Condemned both trying to go in and keep that pressure up. Ganav and Kababi are caught in the back here.
Boomerang and then not.
Oh my god,
in the counter.
So much damage. Condemned her finally finished off by Ganav as well. Kababi with them X Boomerang's just dishing damage, and the ultimate out from Sirius as well. He's gonna connect a little bit of it, but nowhere near enough to make a difference, and that will be another round heading over to Mycon. Prepare to Die, who have come out very strong here in this map.
And it's interesting. So they picked Paloma. So now Paloma has her panic that'll get them away. Taya has her Q and her EXQ, her Zephyr, which both will push people away. Right? So they're there to protect you. And she also has her pull, which will pull people further. So they're protecting themselves, keeping their distance, so Paloma and Taya can do their best. And then once they're distanced, Paloma can land her Wolf, get the snare, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, I don't know if she built the snare, so maybe in this case not so much, but she can still get that damage on her snare. She's going to try and get that Wolf on.
Yeah,
get the damage. It's gonna, and it's going to, you know, also soul bind anyone that it deals damage to. And then we see Varesh. He's just kind of jumping around doing his thing. He's got a shield too to help protect him. So they're doing a good job of actually working as a team now to try and deal with this massive amount of pressure from this weird bruiser orb ignore team.
Yeah. They definitely do not care all that much about the orb. Man, those X Boomerangs dealing so much damage. Condemned has taken quite a bit here up top, though. Varesh has got to be careful. He has guys coming right in for him. Is able to meet up with the rest of his team, though. Condemned trying to hunt him down. He's taking a lot of damage himself. Finished off with those Boomerangs from Kababi, as well as some left clicks from Little Master, and the Jade ultimate is out in the back line, not able to connect with too much. Counter from Varesh, gets tornadoed by his Taya just in time. The X Boomerangs, the haste is going to come in as well. Counter is hit. He's able to go back into the middle, but Void King quite hurt here. Might get finished off with these X Boomerangs. He's hanging on by the skin of his teeth. 18 health in the back there now. Ultimate is out from Taya, trying to finish off clearly.
Oh, there's no way getting out of this damage. Oh, the ultimate just chunks Shade down. They didn't even care. They're going to walk into his face.
Oh, yeah.
Stare down the light, chase him down, push into it. They will take this in a 3-0 sweep, tying up the series. Mycon, Prepare to Die, seem to have awoken, dealing with this high-pressure team comp of Bruce Lee.
That round from Taya there, that last round, 600-some damage just in that third and final round.
Look at her average, average damage.
Oh,
how much a Razor Boomerang doing alone? A Razor Boomerang dishing out 67% of her damage. Her X Strike doing 21% of her damage, 115 damage on average from her X Strikes. She was landing those a lot, and those are kind of tough. There's actually, you can't do it too close, you can't do it too far. There's like this, it's a little bit like Sirius's space bar, right? Yeah. There's like a sweet spot, but it's also very trajected. You can see her, she brings her arms back. You can see them coming, but still able to land them even without, she wasn't even doing the combo with her pull-in. She was using that mostly to kind of move people around the field as opposed to trying to line up her X Boomerangs.
Yeah, and man, she was definitely going unanswered in that second map. It looks like that switched to Paloma, as well as just kind of getting themselves, for lack of a better term, just situated more, kind of getting used to what they were playing against, and were able to, one of the big things really, though, that switched to Paloma was able to keep their support up and, you know, alive, whereas before it was Lucy just going down very quickly in the round. So that seemed to be one of the keys to success for them. We'll see if we get any more team comp changes, though, going into our third and final map.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't switch, considering, like, what the, I mean, they did. They switched from Lucy to Paloma. Yeah. I'm surprised more didn't switch. I mean, the Taya Varesh, people you do not see very often, especially in twos. Haven't seen them much in threes, but the fact that they're doing this well, I'm loving it. I mean, when I first started playing this game, Ty is actually who struck me, right? I love the damage she can do, but she really does need help from her allies. Yeah. We talk about it a lot. She really only has her Tornado to get away as her only hard escape. But she needs energy for that, just like Lucy, which I think is what made it so difficult in that first game. They both need energy to escape, and if they're able to get shut down early on, which is exactly what happened in the first 20 seconds of the game, with no escapes, they're not able to do much. They can't depend on that Varesh shield to do a lot. It's only a half-second stun. And Taya can't depend on her haste either because she can easily get shut down right as soon as she procs it.
Right.
So now that they were able to escape a bit, Paloma has a lot more CC right off the bat and a lot more escape. She has her other side. She has her panic as well. Her AoE panic around her. Now it's been changed a bit. You have to actually cast an ability for it to go, but you are kind of mini silenced for a half second.
Yeah, I mean, it can work quite effective as in a way to get out of there if you need it. So definitely a lot more survivability overall for sure. So guys, also go ahead, say it again. Check out Battlerekt.com. You can get yourself in on this action if you like what you've seen so far today. Maybe you want to get yourself casted if you think you can make it into our top 8. You can get yourself up here as well. We'll yell over your games. We love doing it, and So you can go ahead and get involved with Battlerekt at battlerekt.com.
And I believe if you hop in there, there's a link to our Discord. Come in and hop conversations. Me and Gex, we're always in there. I'm always reading what's going on. Sometimes I'm not able to follow up because I go to sleep for 3 hours for a quick little nap in between these broadcasts of ours. I wake up and like I'm 100 messages deep in a conversation I missed. But if you're looking to shout out at us, give us some feedback, let us know what you think, and that's where you guys can give us some tournament feedback as well. I mean, we have direct channels in there, so chat with us.
Yeah, chat. We like to chat.
We like to chat.
Get
It's
a
our
hold
job
of us
to
there.
chat.
Yeah.
But now we're just chatting at nobody, kind of ish.
Yeah.
With no responses. So we want to chat to people that can respond.
Yeah, we're like real, people, get a
We're
response
people's
from.
people.
It's, yeah,
We're real
the people's people. Yeah. So we are about to get into our third and final map of this semifinal. Winner of this match goes on to play Project Horizon in the grand finals. We've seen a great game here so far. Our first three map match of the day.
Yeah. So far, our style has changed a little bit. We're doing best of 3, best of 5. So this is the first game to actually make it to the final one. They just finished up their team choices, and it looks like we have another alteration.
I like it. I love seeing the switches, man.
Varesh into Baco. I believe this could be a significant choice because of the map, but last time we saw somebody go Baco, they built them differently. They didn't even go wall slam, and they still destroyed.
Still did destroy
So
it.
I'm curious to see if this Baco's going to build the same.
You see on Bruce Lee too, they have now an old door
and they changed up a lot too.
as well as
I like this
Jumong
format
instead of the Jade. So a lot of good change ups on both sides here, and this is our third and final map. So it all comes down to this to see who goes on to play Project Horizon in the grand finals. Here we go. So, anyway, Condemned trying to get in onto Kababi on that tie. Gets the in-cap, now trying to get a little bit of damage off onto Godov. As Baco now jumping himself back in. That center orb is up, but teams have not seemed to care too much about that. Oh, so much damage being taken by Little Master right now as he got caught inside of that rain of arrows, getting Condemned, slammed into the wall, but finally finished off as Paloma could not keep those heals up. She was in-capped. Here comes the ult. Oh, Tornado just in time. Barely able to stay out of that ultimate from Clearney. Very close call there, and the Paloma ultimate as well. Might be able to get Eldor. No, Petrified just in time. Smacked in the face by that lantern, and now Paloma trying to stay alive. Kababi very hurt, needs the heals from Godov. They're trying to finish off Eldor, but couldn't find it quite in time. And there it is, a 1-0 lead for Bruce Lee. Very close round, though.
Somebody get Void King a napkin. I'm sure his hands are so sweaty. Just barely getting out so long, but it actually worked. He had a fantastic Chrono Flux. Just as Taya was probably going to land one of the final blows with one of her boomerangs. He puts down that Chrono Flux in the middle of the field. It was just the two of them in a 1v1 situation. And as soon as he escapes using his spacebar, we see Paloma then chase him down.
Whew.
You'll see people chase down almost to their own death.
Yeah.
But a 3v2 situation, even if somebody has 8 health, is horrible, especially if it's their support, because he can easily stay at a range and still heal up his allies. So they wanted to knock him down, so it was a relatively even playing field in a 2v2. Wouldn't have been easy, but at least gave him a shot. I think this is going to stay a close game.
Yeah, I definitely has been close thus far. The first round was tight, and right away has to get other side. Kababi has to get other side. Excuse me, Chrono Flux is out as well, so he can't get those X boomerangs out there. Kababi and the Baco both taking quite a bit of damage here, man. Little Master, as he jumps back in, gets the end cap, other sided and tornadoed, so there's not many escape options for them now. If something goes wrong, if Bruce Lee tries to get a little bit aggressive, but the ultimate now trying to come out from Clarity. He's gonna get a big swing and a miss. They position themselves away from the ult, but Little Master is really hurt. So is Kababi. They're both, the Plum ultimate as well. Get some of those heals. Little Master, take those heals. Kababi also needs some of those, could use them at the moment. And they are in trouble right now. Little Master should go down. Condemns right in his face. Another side has to come out onto Kababi. They just can't dish out the damage, it seems, at the moment. And they're taking too much themselves. Godov is totally split up from Kababi, who's down in the middle of the map. Godov is just sitting up top, and it's a 1 versus 3 now. If there's any chance, gotta finish off that hurt Condemned. But Paloma not able to do so. Bruce Lee now up 2-0 in our third and final map.
That one looking much more promising than the first one.
Yeah.
Maya, the first one was really close. I think if they were able to take out the old door, it would have been a pretty solid 2v2 situation. But this time, Bruce Lee putting on too much pressure. As you said, we saw the other side and the tornado come out together. That is both of their major escapes. Pretty dangerous. You want to time those together, maybe have an idea of like, first one in danger, I'll go first. Probably,
Right.
if you can avoid using energy, Taya probably shouldn't use that. She should let Paloma use the other side if she knows it's off of cooldown, because that's just a hard cooldown. You don't need to waste your energy. Taya could have saved the tornado for herself for a more risky situation.
Condemned forcing God of to use that other side already and really needs some help. Over here, Ty's got to come in to the rescue, hitting the counter yet again. Gets the end cap onto Ty as well and continuing to apply that pressure to Paloma. And now the haste is out as Little Master also.
Pulled the counter, but it actually might be in her favor. Condemned is now stuck in the back.
Oh, now the ultimate from Clarity. God have had to use other side to make sure that the ultimate was avoided. Counter from Shifu not going to be procced. And Oldor is stuck in a little bit, finally getting himself out. Now here comes the ultimate from Bako as well, getting so much damage on the Void King, who has to use his own ultimate to get out of there. And now, having to go immaterial is Condemned. Both Void King and Condemned pretty hurt here. The end cap and the ultimate out from Taya as well. That Chrono Flux is there to try and mitigate it though. Now Oldor is separated from the rest of his team. Gets petrified though just in time.
Who's gonna get the ore?
Now, Condemned in the middle there. Counter is up. Good job not to proc it. All three players on the side of blue are so hurt. Both of them with the jump. And now it is Clarity. 1 versus 2. Bako taking them to Pound Town. That will keep themselves in the game for now, at least for MyCon.
Fantastic Valiant leap. Whew. Fantastic pulling them both in, just getting the final blow on 2 different enemies. And that time, as you said, MyCon, they were able to survive a lot longer, and they have a lot more sustained damage. 304 damage from Taya, not as much, actually no, sorry, 514 damage from Taya, the 586 from Bako. This time we do see him building Wall Slam. He built Axe and Shield, those War Axe hit reduces the cooldown of his Bulwark because he knows he wants to stay protected from Oldor and Jamong. They're going to be just poking away from a distance.
Here we go. It's still match point for Bruce Lee to try and get into the finals, but MyCon is keeping themselves in it for sure. Oh no, Taya is caught in the middle of things. She had to use her tornado to make sure that she was able to mitigate that damage. Bako getting smacked in the face by the lantern here. That double stun out from Taya as well. Now everybody trying to regroup. Ultimate from Taya already out there. Chrono Flux was used by Oldor.
So does her ult.
Counter hit, in cap off on the Taya now. Getting some good damage onto God of as well. And Little Master's in. Man, they just keep hitting that Shifu counter all day long, but now Condemned is quite hurt. Has to go immaterial. Other side out from Paloma as well to make sure it didn't take that big right click. Taya X Boomerang out, getting some good stuns on the Clarity. Condemned is really hurt. Bako's trying to finish him off. He was able to escape and will go and secure that center orb as well. Ultimate out from Little Brother. Able to get a lot of damage to Clarity. Hitting the right click as well. He's separated from Void King. Needs to get some of those heals. Another charge into the wall, getting the stun onto Void King. The Bulwark using his R just in time to get some extra buff on it. Finally goes down. God of also very hurt. Kababi as well, not in the best of situations. They have to just sit back and heal up. Everybody on the playing field is ailing at the moment. Kababi goes in though, a little too deep. Was trying to finish off Clarity, who is quite hurt, but getting healed up from Void King. Other side comes out, 1v3. God of really needs to pull it off here to keep his team in the tournament. Not going to be able to. Bruce Lee finishes it off 3-1, and they have booked themselves a spot in the grand finals.
Congratulations to Bruce Lee for advancing. I got it. My heart's going to go out to MyCon for this one. I'm loving that team comp. I think if just a few more things were tightened up, they procced, as you said, a lot of Shifu counters.
Yeah.
Almost every Shifu counter. I want to see a stat on that. Like, I'm going to try and go back and watch that replay. They countered. And I think some may have been on purpose, right? Because it does pull Shifu into you. He might be immaterial for a short period of time and dish out a little bit of damage, but if he does it on Paloma, she's just going to heal you up anyways. So they're able to separate him from his teammates and maybe try and dish some damage, and they did it to try and pin him down, but they didn't do it hard enough. I don't think so.
No.
But a lot of those I can tell were definitely unintentional. A lot of those just a little bit of panic mode. And that's what Condemned does a great job of, just being in the fray and dishing out the damage, making you feel like you have to make abilities to get away from him. And that's what makes you proc his counter over and over again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, right at the end, I think it was in one of the last rounds there, his counter got procced. He landed in right on top of Paloma. Paloma knew it was coming and had to use other side right away, and just, hitting those counters, forcing you to use other side and some other abilities that some really crucial abilities like other side and things of that nature, hitting those counters, causing them to do that. So either way, they do head on to the finals and they will play Project Horizon. We're
going to take a replay, a look at the replay of when Baco actually got the double jump on the two near dead enemies of his. We're actually going to see him time this perfectly. We're going to see the counter actually not get procced that time. We're going to see the escape attempt from Old Door, but then he jumps right on the both of them, pulls them both in, and then the X Boomerang and the Axe Swing M1 from Baco are able to finish them off, and that's what gave them the advantage for that round. Again, I think just small, while that comp is more difficult to play, they did a fantastic job of actually executing it most of the time. Yep. But just a few times, I think if they tightened a few things up, they would have come out on top of that series.
Yeah, I mean, it was really close in the end. It was one of those, it was anybody's game, I think, kind of thing. Just a few little mistakes here and there that were capitalized on, where it was the decider in that series. Close nonetheless, but we do have the finals coming up for you very soon. Guys, if you have any clips you want to share with us, you want to talk with us, what have you, you can do that in various places, but Twitter is one of them. If you want to chat, you can do that at Battlerekt, and also use the hashtag Battlerekt. People have been using that. I've found a lot of cool clips through that as well, that hashtag. So, it's great to see you guys sharing all that stuff with us, and a lot of cool plays throughout the day.
Yeah, so. I mean, we try and replay a cool clips that seem pretty like the turning points of it, but if you guys can clip even better ones. I love watching them back, and I love hearing our reactions. Sometimes I'm just going insane, losing my voice, it's cracking, I'm screaming. It's great. Honestly, I start laughing at myself, and I'm like, oh, God, why don't I just shut up sometimes?
Yeah, it's great.
But it's fantastic. Some of the hype of these games get pretty intense, so we are going to go into our grand finals very soon.
Yep, and just a reminder, that is the same format as we've had so far throughout the whole top 8. That same best of three maps. 5 rounds, best of 5 rounds within each map, so same format all the way through. And remember, these guys are also playing for money. There's money on the line. $200 for first place, $100 for second place, and of course they get their demonic steeds as well, which I'm sure they already have, but they'll get themselves an extra one nonetheless. So there's definitely money on the line here, plus pride,
Pride's a big one.
Yeah.
Pride's a big one, and cash. Both the teams now going to win cash no matter what. So there's a $100 difference between first and second, so they're going to be playing hopefully pretty hard.
Yeah.
I want to see how these team comps deal with each other, to be honest. If we're going to see the same aggression from Clinic, Condemned, and Void King, just that who cares about anything, let's just destroy everybody. Hot Biscuit, Blanks, and 2-1-3 do usually a pretty fantastic job of dealing with whatever comes their way. Is it 2-1-3 and Blanks supporting each other well? If Blanks can keep those hard CCs, the in caps, and the petrifies off of 2-1-3, he can just dish out all the damage, while Hot Biscuit stands in the back just laying fire on everyone.
Yeah, and I'd say Blanks, Hot Biscuit, and 2-1-3, they have, just in general, that team has a really high Battlerekt IQ, so to speak. The guy is very in tune with the game, the flow of the game, and they know a lot of the time what they need to do to pull off the wins, it seems, and great coordination across the board between the three of them. So, I think it'll be a tough test for Clarity, Condemned, and Void King. Certainly doable. I think it'll be a great match either way. Two of the best teams throughout Europe here for sure. So I think we're in for a good one.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we're just getting through the map picking phase and bans and whatnot now, guys. So we'll be heading in there. Also, remember, if you've enjoyed all of our coverage thus far and the tournaments and want to get yourself involved in those tournaments too, you can go to battlerekt.com and sign up. You can click on the links there and sign up and play in our next week's tournaments. We have 2v2 still coming up on Tuesday, NA 3v3s later tonight as well. So some other good stuff to look forward to. We'll be here in the same place casting those games as well, so you can definitely go and check all that stuff out at battlerekt.com.
And anyone that's joined us today, thank you for joining us. I understand it's a little lower on the tournament out, but we had a big holiday yesterday. I'm sure some people were just relaxing and recovering. And if you didn't have a holiday yesterday, I still hope you had a good day, to be honest. Yeah. I hope yesterday was a great day for you no matter where you live.
Yeah, yeah. Screw those guys over there. I hope they had
they're
less
not
of a
going to
good
celebrate
day.
our holidays. We don't care what they feel like.
Yeah, if they had a bad day. No, of course. We want every day to be a good day.
Every day that Battlerekt is involved is a good day.
That's right, unless it's me climbing the ladder, trying to
unless
climb
you
the
queued up
ladder,
with this guy.
and I'm just getting pissed.
It's rage
all
fest.
the time. Yeah.
Honestly, no. Like, I'm going to record this man. When things go wrong, it's great. It's like everything's quiet. He's just sitting in his computer. He's hanging out. And out of nowhere, you're like, it's just like, it's dead quiet. Everyone's just kind of working here. What? He just goes nuts. He's just, and it scares the crap out of me. Like,
oftentimes
I get so
profanity
surprised.
Mixed into maybe
There's
a few
some things
curse
that I
words
can't
here
say
and
right
there.
now on air. Yeah. It's fantastic, though. And it's always a fun tilt, you know. Tilting
Yeah.
sometimes is great. He keeps it in where he'll never put it in all chat.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's the thing. I don't
He keeps it
do
in.
it at the other people. I just get mad at myself.
He's mostly mad at himself. He's like, why did I do that? He gets
Yeah.
pissed. And then I'll yell at him, tell him he sucks, and then he gets even more mad at himself.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do with him, though, is I'll say something really mean, but I'll put it in team chat, and he doesn't. And I've done it with some people, and I'll say like really cruel BM things, but only in team chat. And my teammates' reaction are like, "What are you doing? Like you're such a."
Yeah,
so
I think
mean."
he's saying it in all chat, and I'm like,
Yeah,
you
and they
know.
think it's all chat for a second, and I'm just trolling my own teammates.
Yeah, he's a troll guy. But we do have a game here, folks. It is our
it's
grand
not just
finals.
us bantering.
Yeah, no, we have an actual game, and it could be a excellent one at that. Project Horizon versus Bruce Lee. We've seen these guys before in 2s and 3s. They've been up there many a times, and they have some of the most talented players that EU has to offer. 2-1-3 and Blanks on the side of Project Horizon have done very well in previous 2v2 tournaments. They've actually won some of the Battlerekt 2v2 tournaments and gotten second place, and also have been up there in previous weeks in the 3v3s. So a lot of skill to keep an eye out for it here. It's a best of 3 maps as too. A best of 3 maps as well. Keep that in mind. We have a good bit more Battlerekt to go for you here today, as a lot of pressure to actually double end cap. Ooh, this setup for clarity. Able to get that snipe. Condemned is quite hurt here. Blank's able to hit that panic, and 2-1-3 is going to pull him back in, though. He went for the counter. 2-1-3 was not going to bite on that one, as he is just trying to finish off Condemned here, hunting him down, getting yet another silence, hacking away with the left click. Huge ultimate from Hot Biscuit, able to connect onto Void King. Condemned goes down as well, and now it is just Clearney sitting back there going for the big 720
Big
snipe.
pirouette, yeah.
Yeah, but in the end,
That combo ult. Ashka, Lucy both ulting as soon as they had a feeling Void King was going to counter, which literally just left him to stand there
and just take it.
and just take it.
Nothing he could do.
Honestly, he just stood there, arms wide open, just head to the sky, trying to counter, trying to proc it, and they just destroyed him. All the AoE, all the burst, everything together, nothing he could do. And now you can see that without proccing their counters, this team has a difficult time getting in there and getting back out. Sirius really depends on getting that counter proc to try and get his escape once he uses his spacebar.
Yeah, and he can really get caught out. He's got to be careful. 2-1-3 already taking a snipe. Meanwhile, the rest of Bruce Lee is pressuring Blanks. They're really trying to get in on him. Condemned is just hacking away with right clicks. Gets the double in. Cat barrier came out onto Blanks just in time. Nobody's stuck in this corner. This is bad news bears for Blanks. He's got to get out of there. The Petrifies come out as well. He's able to
save him
just in time. Now Void King wants to hunt him down. Condemned is there as well. But 2-1-3 to the rescue. Huge Ashka ultimate takes down Sirius. Now it's a 2 versus 3. Ultimate out from Sirius. Gets panicked away. Hot Biscuit there to finish it off. And now the ultimate from J213 pulls him in, says no thanks. And now Clarity soon to be finished off. And another great comeback in the round. Man, I thought Blanks was absolute dead meat. Once the barrier was down, he was caught in a corner completely, but managed to stay alive somehow.
That Rakan consume, that was the bro moment of the day. Or I guess the broment.
The bromance.
I gotta stop combining
the
words with
broman,
bro,
I love
it. It works pretty good.
Broloma.
It works pretty well. Broloma and the broment. That was the broment of the day. Using his consume, because the snipe would have actually gone through him. Even at reduced damage, it might have actually finished off Lucy.
Yeah.
Because it would have pierced right through him, but he used to consume, so it didn't even go through him or deal any damage to anyone. And then it ended up resulting in Sirius trying to chase him down, but being alone, Ashka ulting him. But then I think Shifu's counter got, or I don't know what happened, but he ended up in that ult somehow in the AoE. He took even more damage, and from there on out, it just fell apart.
And
Like a weakly put together jigsaw puzzle.
Yes. I was thinking the exact same thing. 2-0 it is for Project Horizon in our first map in this best of 3. And that counter not 2-1-3 is not going to bite on that one. The orb is up. And 2-1-3 got in the middle of things, taking those heals from Blanks. That double petrify from Hot Biscuit just in time. Pulled Hot Biscuit. And now it's just both teams playing on their side. Firewall comes out as well. Clearly taking quite a bit of damage. Serious ultimate out as well, though. Will kind of take down 2-1-3 with a bunch. No, 2-1-3.
Clarity potion, all 3 of them.
Separated them completely. It's great.
And their immaterials wore off right away. That was fantastic.
And great stuff from Blanks. And the goo out as well, shoving him back, and he's trying to counter in the middle of the goo. What are you doing, man? And now Void King in dire straits finally gets finished off. That right click from range in the ultimate as well. A quick 3-0 for Project Horizon in our first map there. Oh my. Oh my indeed. Oh my oh me.
Oh my oh me. The Ashka AoE petrify for the 2, and then Rakan, instead of pulling an enemy to dish more damage out, he actually pulled his ally through instead.
Bro moment again.
Another bromant.
Another bromant. Another bromant indeed.
It's great. We gotta find how many bro combined words we can come up with here.
Oh, we can come up with some more.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not joking. We're gonna have to find like bro of the day, because like we've seen so many people just do fantastic jobs of helping out their allies, or just literally dedicating their whole game to protecting one ally.
Yeah.
We've seen 2-1-3 do it so much, but that consume alone saved Lucy, and I think it saved them that round.
Yeah, seriously did. I believe. I mean, because without that, Blanks was toast. Absolute toast.
Yeah, and we're gonna take a replay. I keep doing that. We're
gonna take a replay.
We're gonna take a replay. This is that double combo ult from Lucy and Ashka. As soon as he's gonna proc that counter, 1 ult, 2 ult, boom! Just exploded, absolutely destroyed, melted, whatever you want to say. Nothing you can do, and then just missing the counter. Look at that. Hot Biscuit not even wasting his time.
Oh
and then we're gonna see Shifu go down shortly after. Oh, that was incredible. That ult combo alone was just removed Sirius from the battlefield. And well, you know, 2v3s and Battlerekt, while they're possible, really, really reduce your
your chances of winning. Yeah,
like
you're probably not gonna win.
Yeah,
yeah, you got to be just about pixel perfect if you want to win some of those 2v3s, because man, they're just gonna gang up on you like no other. So either way, that's the first map going to Project Horizon. This is a best of 3. Again, a best of 3 map, so we do have a bit more to come. We'll see if there's any changes in team compositions here. I'm really excited to see that. It's one of the best parts about having these, 3 map series is you get to see some counter picks. Maybe things weren't working out, which I don't think things were working out too well for the boys' last game there. So it's time to switch something up, I think.
We don't see as many immaterials from Jade. I think she's a little too timid to go in there, especially with all the absorbs and everything that we can see coming out of everybody. But
and it changes.
But when we did see one, we saw it was a little delayed, but a fantastic clarity potion from Lucy, which actually not only pushed them all and separated them all, but it actually removed the immaterial, which is what they let them finish off Jade. Granted, she had, I think, literally 2 HP, so it didn't really matter that much. But
and now we are headed in. It is map 2 in our best of 3 finals, and an Esmo out on the field now as well instead of Jade. So a little bit of change up in the team composition. Now using that Esmo, which we don't see all that much. Jolts is one of the guys kind of pioneering Esmo in competitive play right now, but oh no, Sirius caught down here in the corner. That could be some pretty bad news. But now Blue trying to resituate themselves back into the middle, grab that orb, and Lucy now being pressured by Condemned. The barrier is down, needs to be careful if Void King decides to jump in there, just pounding damage. Here comes that Shifu ultimate though. Is going to connect a little bit.
Oh, the Ashka ult
is going to connect, and 2-1-3 hitting that counter, but Condemned in the back there is going to be finished off. 2-1-3 so hurt. A huge heal though coming through from Blanks, like across the map, able to keep him alive for now. Finally going down. The consume couldn't stop everything. And now it's a 2v2, actually a pretty close one overall, and Ultimate came out.
Oh, the deadly injects, that was 3 or 4.
So much taking down Sirius. Blanks 1v1ing. Sirius, so many deadly injects. That's a lot of damage, and here comes the ult from Clarity. Blanks was in the middle of it, able to get out just in time, barely. That could have been a game changer for Clearney. That big Esmo ultimate couldn't quite connect though, and that will finish it off. Project Horizon up 1-0.
Very close match. I'm liking the Esmo change. They want to get some pulls of their own. They're sick of Rakan pulling them in. I think he gives him quite a bit of mobility when dealing with pulls, since he has that double recast. He can use his spacebar to get in. They're going to use stuff on him out of reaction, and then he's going to use the spacebar again to get out. But again, got to be careful. He actually did a good job of surviving that round. Sirius doing a good job supporting him, trying to keep him alive. Shifu went in, I think, a little bit too hard right off the bat. He went down pretty early on in that fight. And then, I want to say it was 4 lethal injects just back to back to back to back on that poor, already almost dead Sirius.
Using all of the energy.
Running into the wall.
Crying.
Crying.
He's crying. He knows he's about to explode.
Tears of the sun.
Tears of the sun, indeed. Now, the 2 more rounds, and Project Horizon will be your 3v3 champions. For 2-1-3 Blanks, it would be 2 championships in 1 week, but here we go. Right into it is 2-1-3 is taking a good bit of damage. Blanks in the back's got to be careful, gets pulled in, already used that barrier as well. Now they're going to try and jump all over this Lucy, just healing desperately. Though Sirius got petrified in the middle of it, pulled right back in. 2-1-3 pulling him right back out, and now that barrier going down yet again. A 2-1-3 right in the middle, just missing that pull. Clearly trying to add some pressure on Hot Biscuit. Here comes the goo as well. Couldn't connect with any clarity potion though. 2-1-3 able to pull Sirius back in there, not biting on his counter either. Ashka Ultimate not able to do all that much. Here comes an Esmo Ultimate. Blanks caught in the middle of it, took all that damage. Condemned wants to go in and see if maybe he can secure the kill. Couldn't hit that second harpoon though. And now Esmo goes down, and Condemned not long for this world either, as he uses his ultimate. It's the counter as well, but finally being finished off. And that is 2-0 for Project Horizon. 1 more round, and they will take a full-on sweep of the Grand Finals.
They are looking at the standings. They want that first place. They want that $200. They're doing a fantastic job. 57% health pool by the end of that round. Ashka, Hot Biscuit, 500 damage that round.
Hot Biscuit.
But Condemned, 529. They almost had that Lucy. Again, they pinned Blanks down. They did a fantastic job, but there was a fantastic combo with Rakan pulled his ally out as Ashka put down a firewall. So not only did they pull her, but then they also tried to shut down any range from pulling her back in. So you weren't going to deal with Condemned trying to harpoon her back. You weren't going to deal with Esmo being able to put his M2 to pull her back either. Trying to get that secure. And that alone, they'll let her heal up a lot of her health. And she was over a half even after taking that beating.
So, Bruce Lee's got to go big. Here, this is their time to stay in the tournament. And so far, Condemned taking quite a bit of damage. He used his counter, but now he's back in the middle. This Orb Secure should help them quite a bit. The double Petrify is out. And using that Consume well. Oh, double in cap from Condemned though, trying to take down 2-1-3, get some damage into him. Counter hit as well for Shifu. And 2-1-3 is caught in the middle here, gets the barriers, gotta be careful though. Clarity from range, couldn't connect with that right click. And Condemned is so hurt here, needs some heals, couldn't get it. That is not a good sign. And the ultimate out from Clarity, couldn't pull anyone back into
Ashka ult any time now.
He's got it. The goo comes out as well. Ashka ultimate, counter was hit for Void King, he gets out of there just barely. And now they're trying to resituate themselves.
2-1-3 coming after him, he is terrified.
Oh, he's got
a good weekend though, and he has his ultimate now. Oh, but he's not able to save his ally.
Down the
Rakan.
No, not gonna happen.
Enough. Project Horizon takes the win. Our champions of the Battlerekt EU 3v3.
Wow,
Number 2.
That's two championships for 2-1-3 and Blanks
in a single week.
1 week. These guys are nuts.
Bruce Lee, though, trying to break out. Interesting team comps. I'm loving it. They got so far doing things we hadn't seen yet.
Yep.
I want to see that continue. Please keep it up, Bruce Lee. Fantastic game from them as well. They will take second place, going with $100. Project Horizon going on with 200, splitting that amongst the 3 of them. Quite a good booty.
Oh, yeah.
Good amount of booty.
Some good loot bringing in the loot. So, you know, good stuff from them. Congrats, obviously, to Project Horizon and Bruce Lee as well for you know, making it to the finals. That was some good stuff.
It really was.
Yeah, great seeing some 3v3 action. And let's go ahead and take a look here. We will, in just a moment anyway, take a look at our bracket. And you know, we'll kind of see what we did for the day. But man, I loved all the matches throughout the day. The different comps, the different, even different Battlerekt selections too. You know, people kind of going against the norm, so to speak, in their builds. And we really got to see some different things. And it was great. You know, I hope going forward, we get to see more of that kind of play and different champion diversity. You know, I think it was a good thing to see.
You guys should have seen how much my heart grew watching Abako not go wall slam. Because everyone, you know, you claim like there's the strongest battle right. You know, like what is the strongest? But the way they were playing, there wasn't a whole lot of walls that map, so he didn't even bother going wall slam. Right. He actually wanted to go, you know, making his stomp a little bit stronger, his spacebar taking some more damage on that, which I think did great. We're going to take a look at a replay there for that last game. It's actually the Game 3 finale. This is what gave it to him. I mean, look at how they're spread out. We're going to see Ashka just laying on the pressure on poor Esma, who couldn't do much. He tried to ult, and it's more just, this just kind of shows the overall spacing that we see from Project Horizon, even in threes, and then there's nothing you could do from there, serious. That might not have been the flashiest of plays, but it just goes to show how confident they are. We see 2-1-3. He didn't care how much health he had. He still plays the same way, no matter where his health bar's at, which I think is what makes him such a strong player. Yeah. And Hot Biscuit always has the abilities he needs, whether it be his E or his spacebar, always has the ability that he needs.
Yeah, and you know, they know that Blanks is going to be back there to come up big, especially 2-1-3, because they play together so much. You know, even if he goes in, he knows he's getting that support. Either way, they got that synergy. He knows that he'll be okay. So, you know, good coordination there. But let's take a look at our bracket. We'll see kind of what we went through today. Of course, we saw, you know, some great games. Obviously, Project Horizon taking the finals against Bruce Lee, but overall, a lot of familiar faces, and great to see them in the 3v3 action here as well.
I was a little sad that Mycon Prepare to Die didn't get to play Mycon.
I know.
I would have loved to actually see that. I wonder if they were going to deliberately counterpick them, or but it's good to see some good fun rivalries going on. People trying to pick fights and have some fun with it, and that's what we want, right? So here at Battlerekt, we really want to make sure that everyone is having a grand time. I know it's a competitive format, and people are here for money, and they want to win, and they want to come first, second, third, whatever place you want to come in. Some people strive for fourth.
Yeah, you know, they strive for averageness, and that's great.
That's what I do.
More power to you. Hey,
I'm never disappointed in myself, right? Because I never win, but I'm not expecting myself to win. I'm just expecting to come in that middle ground.
Yeah,
you hear about me kind of. It's like the guy who always comes. He always shows up, right? He's always there.
Yeah, you see, he tries hard, goes out there, gets gritty.
Same with school. C's, right in the middle, just boom. Hey, I'm never that sad, and I'm never that happy.
C's get degrees.
C's,
that's what they say.
And after a while,
study,
C's
kids.
too.
Don't listen to that philosophy.
Don't listen to me. Oh, God.
Study.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, some either way, a lot of good fun today. I was happy to see the games. And if you guys want to get in on the action next time, you want to play later today even, you can go to battlerekt.com, sign up, click the links there. It'll take you to the GGN site, and you can sign up for our tournaments. 3v3 NA later today, and you know, we'll have 2s next week as well. If you want to come back and watch us yell at these Battlerekt matches, these video games, which we so much love to do, you can join us later today, of course, for the NA broadcast as well. That will be at 8 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be back for that as well, yelling as we always are.
I have to warn you guys, I'm already on my second cup of coffee for the day. And we have a lot of the day left. And I want to stay awake. I want to make sure I'm excited and ready. So I might be an absolute mess in the best way possible by the time the NA rolls around. So trust me, you want to come back for that.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. NA's always fun. Later in the day, we get a little loopier later in the day sometimes. So things get a little wild sometimes here on the Battlerekt set. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. We've had a lot of fun with you. We'll be back later today as well. My name is Gex. This is Final Carpet. Again, thank you. We'll see you later tonight for NA 3v3s. Until then, have a good one.